Ahoy landlubbers, it's me, your Captain Vasco speaking, and welcome to, a stream where I once again realized that I've, invited a bunch of, enabling personality types into my life, which works reasonably well because I don't do anything for myself, and also, because I, too, am an enabler. Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man meme. That is to say, if you're looking at, the chat from before I started recording, we've determined that I'm going to spend a bunch of money on something I want, but don't need. But, you know, that's life. So, instead of focusing on the past, let's focus on the present. It's Saturday, May the 6th, 2023. May the 6th suddenly Palpatine returns somehow. I don't know. Does it work for the whole month of May that you could just keep doing Star Wars? If they keep making Star Wars TV shows, that has to work out eventually, right? Yeah, I mean, it's something with the Sith, right? It's something with the Sith, but, like, I also kind of just wanted to poke fun at the Palpatine return somehow, which is just extremely bad. I was thinking about it, because I was, listening to, a Game Grumps thing where they were talking to Ben Schwartz, who apparently, like, did some, like, punch-up lines for some of the recent Star Wars movies, which I didn't know until I watched that. And he and Dan Avidan were talking about how they just like the new Star Wars movies. And particularly the last one, which, like, a ton of people crapped on. And frankly, like, I definitely like the last one, more than God, all the names have escaped from my head. The naming conventions could be better. The Last Jedi? Is that the name of the middle one that I really disliked? I definitely like 9 better than that. And I was trying to think of, like, why did I not hate the Palpatine line more in theaters? And that's because I hadn't seen the movie yet, and thus I expected that, like, we would address what that means to some extent, and we didn't. So, in hindsight, I think it looks a little more ridiculous than it is. But thank you for the bits, Demolition. Also, thank you kindly for the enablement. It's this what we're doing today. Actually, what we're doing today is playing some more Disco Elysium. So, I think the plan for today, because I'm starting to get a sense of how little actually happens in the span of 3 hours playing this game on average. I think the plan is, I think I want to go talk to Joyce, because we relatively recent. So, like, the order of operations has been, like, we went and talked to Evrart, who's, like, the head of the Union. And, like, he tried to blackmail us, and we put that on the back burner. And then, part of that exchange is that we got the body down from the tree. So we actually got to do our, like, field autopsy on the victim. But then, like, I found an opening to, like, maybe deduce something important about the body, and I'm, like, really fixated on that. So we spent most of last week, like, getting access to the fridge and dealing with the fallout of getting access to a fridge that we could put a whole corpse in. But, like, once we did that, one thing that I think we should do today, I don't know if we have the opportunity to do it tomorrow, but I think we should do on day 2, is go talk to the Union people hanging out at the Whirling in Rags. But before I do that, I think I want to talk to Joyce, who's, like, the representative from the company, Wild Pines, about the conversation I had with Evrart, and see just what she says about that. I don't know if that'll be important or give me anything new, but I feel like I want to have that conversation, and then I want to talk to the Union, and then if there's, assuming there's somehow time for that, I want to talk to Martin Martinez. I don't know if we'll get that far in the progression of linear time. But, yeah, we did find the bear. It was extremely cursed and, like, broke my computer in the whole stream. I think I actually may know the cause, but I'm not certain that I know the cause. So we're just gonna hope that nothing breaks today, and then we'll jump into the thing. I'm really proud of myself for not forgetting to move the camera for the past, like, 4 consecutive weeks, which sometimes I don't do. So let's load up Cursed, which is the save from right outside the pawn shop, which is what we did at the end of last time. How's everyone doing, by the way? I will talk to this guy because I'm already here. And I don't know if you know this, but I can't not go because I'm already here. He's like standing next to like a breaker box. Something about this feels ominous. Good day. I am the law.
Hangs out by the waterlock, carving up a generous serving of salami with an old hunter's knife. His eyes are fixed on a man stranded on the other side of the waterlock and on an enormous billboard that has fallen down into the canal between them.
To be honest with you, I do think the flashlight may be partially responsible for the problems last time, so I really shouldn't have that equipped if I don't need it to. I do still have the graphics settings down. Frankly, I don't feel like they made a huge difference, so for the moment I think I'm going to leave that, just to make sure that I don't have another extremely bad time. But after hearing the narrator read this line of dialogue, what did he do to the old hunter to get his knife? Enormous build.
His posture is relaxed. Despite his powerful build and a knife in his hand, this man resorts to physical intimidation only infrequently, if at all.
Do you know what happened to this billboard and maybe this man?
I wasn't here to witness it, but those look like tire tracks on that sign. Weird, huh? Then again, plenty of daredevil drivers in Rivershoal.
Well, I basically was born yesterday, so I can't really speak to that. I guess I'll take your word for it.
The words, daredevil driver, sound ominous to you.
What am I supposed to glean from that? Did I lose my memory in a car accident?
Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything around here. Especially a waterlock. The rest of the coast is closed off till then.
Can I have some of that food?
Sure thing.
It is salty. It is
yeah.
It is chewy. The hangover only makes the salami more tasty.
Man, this game has conditioned me that if I ask anyone for anything, then I'll take, like, morale damage, and then Kim will insult my intelligence. So, like, that genuinely caught me off guard. I was getting a little bit of flack last week for, like, the way I've been playing this game. And honestly, I do legitimately feel like the game has conditioned me to be really cynical about it. Because, like, personally, I tend to dislike games that punish exploration, and in a way, I do feel like this game does that. However, I think it's somewhat balanced by the strength of the writing, and particularly the dialogue, although a significant amount of the writing is the dialogue, to be honest with you. But, like, it's been something of a balancing act, because the game does do a lot of things that I don't like, but then it does really great stuff, so, like, it's been a lot of highs and lows. Hey, Nico, welcome to the stream. Excited to have you here again. Might go to bed soon. That's also fair. I'm glad that you were able to enjoy the cinnamon roll from yesterday, and that it, in fact, cured the headache. With lots of cream cheese frosting. Very good. Not to get bogged down in TV talk again, but because I recently watched the final season of Better Call Saul, there's been a lot of feeling of like, yeah, I could go for some cinnamon treats. Demolition asks if I like salami. I honestly couldn't tell you the last time I've had it. It's been rare that I have. I think I like it fine is probably the answer, but maybe I just haven't had it enough.
Want some too, officer?
Why not?
Ponders for a moment, then decides to go for it. Takes a slice of salami. Anyway, you know what's further down the coast? Because I don't understand the geography of this world at all.
Well, there's the fishing village, an abandoned fish market, a bizarro church. Not much use to the congregation, though. There always seems to be something wrong with it.
There's a lot of unspoken insight in that comment. Bizarro church that isn't much use to the congregation because there's something wrong with it. I feel like there's a whole lot there without telling me anything, which is great. I'm into that. That's some, like, 1899 writing. I'm sorry, we're not gonna do TV talk.
Yeah, not really much else. Just bombed out ruins.
Did we... Okay, I know that there was, like, a civil war sort of thing of sorts here, and that it's kind of like a contested area. Did we know about bombings? I feel like there's been discussion of, like, errant, like, bullet holes, for lack of a slightly more nuanced term. I don't immediately recall discussion of bombings. I'm not even sure aircraft exist in this world. I mean, it could be, like, mortars or whatever, but, like, I still just didn't have that impression. Ooh. That's a good counter-argument, Echo. Why get good salami when you could just have hot cinnamon treats? Also, hi, Angel. I hope you're doing well. I'm gonna be honest. I'm still riding the high of learning that Baby Nickel Bolus exists. It's not that important, but it is that important to me. I feel like there should have been more to talk about with this guy, but, like, there's not, and whatever, that's fine. I would like to make a new save file. And I would like to remember to save over one of my thousands of unnecessary save files. And I would like to call this... Tinkering. Yes. Salami has protein and less sugar. Right, I feel like you're making the wrong argument when your target audience is me. No, I'm joking. Can I, like, fix this?
A couple of indicator lights are missing from this control panel. Loose wires dangle from the now vacant holes. In the middle is a lever. Beneath it, a small metal plaque.
Why do I have the immediate sneaking sensation that the reason that there's a man standing here to give me free salami and restore a health unit is because I can interface, perhaps literally, with this box and electrocute myself?
This panel usually closes the waterlock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal. But there's a crashed salmon and butter sign in the way. Pulling the lever probably won't do anything.
How did I pass visual calculus? Isn't my visual calculus currently like -2? It's not showing me the full breakdown, that's fine. I guess it only shows you the full breakdown if you manually do the check. I don't think I've ever paid attention to that fact. So pulling the lever probably won't do anything. So the notion is that in order to fix the lock, I need to remove the sign, probably. I'm a little unsettled by the probably here. I feel like there's a non-zero chance I do it and I break something. I don't immediately have need to do this. I'll leave it for now. Probably won't do anything. Okay, real quick, could you just, like, not with the flashlight? Could you not? Okay, great. Just equip this pry bar to be a little more intimidating. And then just remember to, like... Oh, hang on, I could look at the butter sign. Butter sign down? No, hang on. What if... What?
A crumpled billboard reading, Samaran butter soaks in the canal. 2 ugly lines mar the bright countenance of the blonde boy depicted.
What is Samaran butter?
Whatever it is, the boy on the billboard seems very happy about it.
That's fair, that seems fair. Wait a minute. Also, apparently my visual calculus is 0. I must have changed an article of clothing, because I was pretty sure I got it into negatives. But, like, did I pass a check to get that ominous feeling? I didn't think I did. Maybe it was one of those background ones and I just didn't notice. I mean, listen. I've tried twice to manually do a visual calculus check. And in the... Oh, you're right, it was in an Empire. Good shout. I've tried twice to do visual calculus, and upon failing them, immediately took emotional damage. But I'm sure this time, with my 17% chance, which isn't 42, we'll be fine.
Just some tasteless advertising at the bottom of a canal. No use rubbernecking now.
To be entirely honest with you, I don't know what I would expect that to do if I passed it, but that's fine. I didn't actually take damage. That's exciting. Now, how is it that I can't break into this dumpster? I feel like I should get a new shirt or something. So, I'm slightly confused here. When you talk about water locks, I tend to think of that as being distinct from, like, this style of... Is there a different name for this than drawbridge? It's kind of a distinct thing, right? But it's also kind of similar to a drawbridge. I feel like I think of those as two different things. But it's giving me the impression that it's all kind of one entity. Anyway, I guess that's not important. The shield is not important. The talisman is important. Which I don't know why I find that funny or meaningful to quote from the pilot of Jackie Chan Adventures. Although, and I promise we're not doing TV talk, it amused me greatly that they used footage from Jackie Chan Adventures on a background TV in the final season of Better Call Saul. That was a bonus for me. What time is it? It's 15:55. It's a little later than I thought it was. I think I can change that back into like a 12-hour clock, which might just be easier for me because I'm lazy. Hi, Joyce.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Do feel like I should ask her about reality. Was it prompted by something? I kind of feel like it was. I feel like I had some discussion where, like, my character admitted that they didn't understand reality. It might have been during the Everett conversation, and then it was like, you gotta find someone smart. And so now it's like, she seems smart. I talked to Everard.
You have? And how did you like Mr. Clare?
Ooh. There are almost never pauses in the dialogue, even when there's, like, pauses written into the, like, descriptive language.
Finally, time to choose sides.
He's a beautiful man. Beautiful and just. Oh, this actually reminds me. I think I have to make a choice here. Yeah, I can't change it now. So I did a little poking around in the interface after last week's stream and learned a little bit more about how the thoughts work. And I'm going to spend a skill point to get rid of socialism because I don't think I like it. And apparently that's how that works. So just going to leave that slot open. I mean, I guess, well, no, I kind of just want to get rid of it, to be honest with you. And I was not really enjoying the sensation that, like, I should choose socialist options to try and get invisible skill point bonuses. And also, I just don't think my character cares particularly much about it. It's just not a especially good bonus. And I think we're pretty close to getting, like, super destructive man force or whatever. I don't know what the actual name for it is, but I desperately need that in my life. I don't know what the actual ability is, but I think it will involve opening walls with my fists. It's really bizarre that I even have this dialogue option while currently having socialism equipped. Gonna love it. Okay. I want a sincere answer to this question. Am I going to love it? Or are you just saying that because you want some sort of socialist dialogue thing that shows up later? I like option 7. It reminds me of the boost. No one else will know what the boost is. Don't love me. It's my job. I mean... I mean, 7 is, like, pure neutral response, which I think is not quite what I want to give. I mean, so strictly speaking, I think I already spent a skill point to get a slot for Punch Wall Man. I don't remember what it's called. It's not important. Me making up fake names is probably better content. Hello, Pixie. Hi. Welcome to the stream. Neko asks, so you're giving up communism. Are you leaning towards any political side? That's the thing, is like, I don't get this. I know that this game is like highly political, even from the limited amount I've played. None of it's really like grabbed me as like, I kind of want to align myself with Joyce if I have to choose sides, just because I like Joyce as being the type of person I typically would like to interact with. In terms of roleplay, like, so here's, okay, let's go over this. I think this is important and relevant. Maybe not immediately relevant to this all happening. So, like, I haven't maybe talked as much about it in the last, like, week or so of streams. But, like, I have been sort of formulating what I feel like my character is becoming by nature of the world they've put me into. And I kind of view my character as good cop and bad cop. I think that he's willing to sort of play the fool or placate people to get information or to try and, like, just trick them into doing the thing that he wants. You know, that was sort of my initial, like, I just wanted to be kind of an idiot who swayed people with his words somehow. But because of, like, the interactions I've had in this world, there's just, like, a lot of people who really annoy me, and I've sort of liked physical instruments and using that sort of response to, like, be able to punch, to, like, spin kick Measurehead. So, like, I think I'm sort of like a soft vigilante. Like, I think I have some amount of respect for the rule of law. Note, parenthesis, asterisk, I am the law. But, when I feel like the system is failing, you know, I'll grease the wheels of justice a little bit with my spin kick. And, like, that all I feel pretty strongly about. You know, like, I kind of feel like the man from Heimdall is not exactly like a role model, but he resonates because he's a guy who stoically uses force to defeat evil, you know? So I feel like that sort of plays into things too. But going back to your initial question, like, I have seen and heard, like, zero compelling in-universe arguments to do anything other than stop people from being, like, a-holes. So, like, that's the thing I care about so far. I don't have any, like, in-game political leaning, I don't think. Is it from Beacon Pines Fire Cop? Yes, I think that's right. There was definitely... I mean, there's definitely a choice where you could, like, be good cop, bad cop, and then you have all the badges, and every time you got a badge, I was like, ooh, could I be, like, fire cop? And, like, the answer was usually no. But I think that is the thing you're thinking of. The problem here is that, like, I don't think I like, in particular, any of these choices. I mean, I guess one's pretty solid, right? Didn't love the guy. He's a great sort of villainous character. Definitely trying to blackmail me. I feel like I would like to give the sentiment of 6 without literally saying, I wish to swear fealty to you and the cause of capital. Like, that's simply too strong in the other direction. I'm just going with 1. I mean, I know that they, like... I know they want me to take a stronger stance here, but the only thing that I feel like aligns with what I want to do, I think is just too strong in the other direction. So I think the best thing I could do is just be like, I did not care for the man. I don't care for Job.
Oh, come on now. He has his uses.
I didn't say he didn't.
How else would he have stayed in power all these years? Or wait, actually, corruption. That's how he's done it. Fantastic, Worm-like corruption.
Worm-like.
Reaching into the bowels of the earth.
The position of my unusual colleague does not reflect official policy. I hope you understand. The RCM does not pick sides.
Of course. And I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a corrupt verm myself. However, if you felt like discussing something, how could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take? It's only natural. We would only be gossiping.
Tell her she'll like you for it.
Dang it, electrochemistry. Every time you try to make an argument, whatever it is suddenly less compelling.
Yes, your disgusting necktie agrees completely. Let's gossip.
Oh no. These are not good options. Mr. Everard is helping me find my gun. Oh no. I mean, okay, listen. I'm not out here trying to be corrupt cop. I definitely accepted this lady's money. Sweetie needed money to save the hubcaps. This is important. This is a concession I made for my partner, who I care about. I feel like drawing attention to the fact that she gave me money and is asking for information sort of acknowledges in an official capacity that has retroactively become a bribe. It's true, I did not take the money from Everard. I'm a little curious what her reaction would be for me to tell her that Everard is helping me to find my gun. Do I think that she would offer to help? I think he offered, it was like it was somewhere between like $15 and $25. I think it was like, I want to say it was enough to cover like one night's stay, but he tried to sell it as like a lot more money. He's like, this'll last you a week or something. Yeah, exactly. Sweetie needs more than $15. She gave me like $101, which meant that I had settled my debt and could, you know, not sell the hubcaps. This is important. I honestly don't think it was 50. I might be wrong. I really thought it was like 20 or 25. Or maybe less. I feel like it was like roughly one night stay. I'm gonna say this. I'm secretly hoping that she'll offer assistance so I don't have to do his thing.
Oh. That's so helpful of him.
Her eyes became wider.
The lieutenant looks at you, and you can swear his jaw muscle is trembling. When I said be wacky, I didn't mean wildly, grossly irresponsible and damaging to the RCM.
Listen. Everything I do is what you just described. Okay, legitimately though, this is a personal grievance of mine, but it has been consistently annoying. Also, before I rant, because you know I'm going to, I forgot to do this. Chronos. I gotta get better at doing this. Welcome to the stream. So like, I do very much like the idea of you sort of building your character from the stat points you put in, the things you focus on, your key skill, the choices you make. Like, that's great. Love that. The fact that you start the game, you start from a position of such, like, horrendous negligence that you have no say in, and then you have to deal with the consequences of it, is a little extreme for me. Because, like, that's sort of a fun background if you're choosing to be, like, a super, extremely horrible, bad cop. But, like, if you're trying to be even, like, remotely competent, like, it's a little annoying. To me, I feel like that's annoying. And, you know, I get that's a personal thing, but I want to put that out there because I reflected a little on that as well. Because, like, there was some friction last week when the game was like, I think you're sorry, cop. And I'm like, I don't know how to take this. And it's like, I don't think my character is sorry, cop. But, like, I find myself having to react to stuff that I didn't, like, choose to do. And, like, it's so insanely bad that, like, I'm, like, as a human, I kind of can't help myself but be like, I'm sorry I lost my gun at a playground or something, you know? Like, I don't know how to do anything else. I don't feel like that's truly a choice on my part. Like, that's just a completely bananas circumstance.
Unconventional police officers sometimes lose their guns. They then go around and tell people about this, to gauge their reactions. It's all part of detecting.
See, now he gets it.
Incredible. Simply incredible. And how is it going? Has this detecting produced a gun?
No.
Well, maybe he's not as helpful as you thought then. Is there anything else?
I was considering 3, but I don't want Kim to explode. I feel like I put enough pressure on him for the moment.
Weird. Oh no. One of the positive things to come from the revolution is the unhindered exchange of information, you see, even when it comes to trade secrets. Which isn't to suggest our talks constitute corporate espionage. Even if they did, it would be fine. But they don't, since you logged the money as a donation, and this is clearly just gossip between friends.
Okay, well, apparently I can't actually do anything else. I guess the thing I wasn't supposed to say was the gun thing. That's fine.
Of course, Detective. Should something come up later, down the road, don't be afraid to drop by for a chat. Until then, is there anything I can help you with?
Could you explain the concept of reality? Is the world a simulation? Have you heard of the Philadelphia experiment? Picture an egg.
This reality.
Trouble remembering most of the basic terms of reality. No time to explain, just give me a quick rundown on how reality works, please.
No, but please, a little context. We're not in such a hurry.
Well, it's my head whoopsie. It's the owie I got with it's ow.
Ah, yes, the episode. Sounds like an acute case of encephalopathy, now that I think of it.
Don't be phased, madame. He functions perfectly well. He only needs a lowdown on all of reality.
It bothers me a touch how difficult it is to gauge what Kim's reaction will be to stuff, because he strikes me as the type of character who's very structured and predictable, and, like, sometimes when I say something, like,
Giraffe.
just absolutely nonsensical, he's like, this is fine. Just, like, as an example, like, when we had the exchange with Measurehead, when he went to go take down the body, and we're like, so wait, this is a ploy, this is, like, corruption, right? And he's like, this is definitely corruption. And then Kim's, and then we passed some check where it was like, Kim seems to think this is acceptable corruption. And I'm like, but how would I know that?
We may be here a while then. Ask away, officer. I'll help however I can.
This somehow has updated my task.
All right, you're in. Begin with the first one. You'll appear worldly.
Holy God. We're gonna be here a while, huh? Where are we?
We're in Martinez, baby.
No, that's a free pass for me. She just gets to say that. Okay, but, like, explain what Martinez is.
Martinez is a district of Revachol. A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbour, north of the 881 and Jamrock.
I need you to slow down. That last part was very confusing to me, a small child who was born yesterday.
You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. Shelled to smithereens during the Revolution.
So, like mortars and stuff.
It has its charms, just not this time of year.
I'm all in.
I'm not a good ambassador. I've only been here once before. As a teenager. Not a lot has changed. There are ruins, a terminal, fishing boats, reeds. Boys with boxy shoulders.
That last one was a little telling, huh? That hasn't changed since you were a teenager, huh?
This place used to be a province. A workers' resort before the city swallowed it and the artillery did its work. The reeds are the real star of the show here now. The further down the coast, the wilder it gets.
One of these days I'm gonna have to figure out how the map works. You mentioned the sea. Which sea?
It's not really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol. And the bay feeds into the ocean.
Are we near that? The thing you called the ocean?
Yes. We're on an island in an ocean. The world's largest body of water. The Insulindic.
Right, the Insulindic phasmid.
Vast, lukewarm and unknowable, flowing in and out of sight.
What is the name of this island? And do we have to go back, Kate?
Caillou, as you already know.
The island is called
Imagine
Caillou?
a pebble. A smoothed-over pebble amidst a great blue sea. Misshapen, cracked. The cracks are the River Esperance. We're in the delta of this river, on the 6th branch. The Martinez distributary.
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her.
Okay, that's Martinez. What's Revachol? Honestly, I think I could probably use an... Like, I have a vague sense, but, like, I think I could use this answer. Map usually works by singing about being a map before showing you where to go. You know what? That's an excellent point, Neko. That is true.
Revachol? Revachol is what you call a city.
What kind of city is Revachol? Good kind of city?
Great kind.
Oh.
As if it's self-explanatory. Beyond patriotism. A fact.
Man, how big is this island? I kind of got the impression she wasn't from here. She's from a different part of the island? What makes it great?
History, detective. They built this city to resolve history.
What?
Our part in it, at least. Our centuries.
Was it built on rock and roll? Who built the city, and what material did they use to build it?
The nations of the Occident, or migrant workers from Seminine and Ile Marat, depending on your creed.
What if my creed is faffing about? When was Revachol built?
In the DeLorean century. 380 years ago.
Great Scott! Tell me how it resolves history, because I legitimately don't understand that.
They say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered.
What?
The tensions are highest, the fault lines deepest.
What?
By that I mean conflicts. Ideological conflicts. The stuff of men.
So this is sort of an explanation of the allegory, then, of why this game is set here and why it's so intensely ideological, is that it's meant to be like a battleground for all ideologies so that you can pick a side? Is that what I'm gathering?
We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people in the middle of the Insulindic Ocean, the world's connective tissue. It's where the money is.
So, this is basically like the center of the world, huh?
Oh, we're quite a way off. About...
She points across the water where the skyscrapers
A
rise.
collection of tall ghosts behind the water vapor. Light reflecting off their glass windows.
22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the Bank of the World building. The bottom floors are Insiacom. Coalition government, Insulindian Mission Command.
Bank of the world built. The ground floors are coalition government.
Picture an egg.
That's there's something really confusing about this concept. It's a bank, but it's also the Pentagon. Also, did I literally just gain experience points for seeing ghosts?
Silence. She lowers her hand. The water, the light. It's as though you're seeing it for the first time. There is no recognition, only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it.
Huh. I don't think I understand what I expect to come from either of these questions. So I think I'll stick with my guns of like, no, like just I really don't know anything of basic rundown. So like, where are we?
We are where we are. I have no truer answer to give, unfortunately.
Jamais vu. I should know what that means, but I don't immediately. Huh.
This is one thought you need to complete. Where are you?
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a lowdown.
Right.
This has been informative. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sure my memory-impaired partner has many more questions to ask, about even more fundamental aspects of reality. Might I suggest not asking them all right now? Ma'am, Messier will be here later too, and tomorrow. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Absolutely. My commitment here is long-term.
Yeah, I kind of do want to keep going. It will make him upset, though. I also do... Well, I don't know. I don't know how long I expect the Union people to be at the Whirling in Rags. That's the real question mark today. Because I have... So... What's the time frame to find that guy at the apartment? It's before 9 p.m.? I think it's before 9 p.m. I still have some time. But I want a golden goose. I want it now.
That is understandable, but perhaps it's better not to eat all your candy at once.
Indeed. I'm always at your service.
Conceptualization. Classically one of my most likely to succeed roles. So, I don't actually understand the point of him delay, because it feels like it was inevitable for me to get back to this menu. Honestly, what times are these?
These are unimportant times, Detective.
Shh.
You and I were born after the dust had settled. 1,000th of a second too late.
Secret ominous statement. Too late for what?
For the big time.
Her eyes light up. There's a flash of teeth. Oh no, she's gonna eat me!
The revolution.
Ha! And what is this revolution I keep hearing about? So you say you want a revolution?
It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next, who gets shot in the head, and who gets the mineral rights. It's a real kerfuffle.
You know, I'm gonna be honest, when you boil it down like that, it seems even more ridiculous than it is, but, like, she's kinda not wrong, though. Who got shot in the head? Was it that horse guy from the statue?
Those would be the communists. Generally speaking, 40 million people got shot in the head during the World Revolution.
That's a lot of
But
guns.
the communists, they all got shot in the head.
Oh dear.
She's not gloating. It's a relieved celebration.
Oh, and the anarchists too. They shot them well. So well, one forgets they even existed.
If entire ideologies were all shot in the head to the point of extinction, how is there even enough ideology to have a grand battleground on this island? Did the communists and anarchists shoot back?
Did they ever? Before they got shot themselves, They shot 2 million people.
That's a tragedy. That's all. That's all it is. It's just a tragedy.
Yes. The Red Deluge. The Insulindian Deluge, they call it.
I had a deluge too. In my head. Point to your little head. Come on. You know I'm gonna say it.
Yes. An acute thiamine deficiency can be exacerbated by alcoholism. Exacerbated means made worse.
Thank you so much. Did anyone else get shot in the head?
Oh, lots of people. Even the king got shot in the head, or thrown beneath a horse, or drowned. Accounts differ. It was unceremonious. Just as well, he wasn't actually the king. Just the king's nephew.
Now, just as like a thought experiment, is it possible that he got shot and then thrown from his horse into a moat where he actually drowned before he died from the gunshot wound? Is that possible? Was it all three?
The real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad.
I honestly am not trying to be contrarian. Virtually every time one of these has come up, like, I just don't strongly care. I mean, I think I ended up getting the socialist option because, like, early on there was a lot of talk about, like, the company trying to exploit people or whatever, and I'm like, well, I'm definitely not pro, like, exploitation of people. The game's like, got it, so you're, like, hard socialist. I'm like, well, I mean, in a manner of opinion, perhaps that's true. I don't care about kings. One more thing.
About head shooting.
Who got the mineral rights?
The liberals got the mineral rights. And by mineral rights, I mean everything.
And by liberals, you mean...
Liberals are usually middle-class people, Detective. Or the remaining gentry. The beneficiaries of the pre-revolutionary arrangement. Some were rich enough to stay with the Constitution, with monarchy. Big mistake.
Big mistake.
Others bet on the revolution. They were called the ultras, or ultra-liberals. They fared well.
How'd they win it all?
They didn't win so much as survive. We were the last ones standing when the war ended. Everyone else got shot in the head, remember?
She's a good resource for this. A lot of time has passed already, huh? If everyone got shot, who was there to surrender to?
The foreign intervention. The coalition. Those people really took the mineral rights.
Foreign intervention. So, yeah, the revolution was a civil affair, and then foreigners showed up and tried to take everything. Yeah, okay, I guess I follow that. I don't know. It's abstract enough, it's a little difficult to follow without, like, meaningful, like, names attached to them. But, like, I get the general idea for sure. You said the liberals took everything.
The liberals took everything that wasn't nailed to the ground. The coalition took the ground.
Ah.
The ocean, the laws, and the people.
They took the laws, but I am the law. Who are the coalition?
The coalition of nations. Grad, Mesk, Vesper, Messina, Oranje, and Sur-la-Clay. The armed center of the world. They landed here and ended the revolution. It was the moralist thing to do.
There is bitterness in her voice, tempered with understanding. She is critical, but ultimately understands the cause.
Moralist?
The moralists believe in keeping everything exactly the way it is. They believe in mineral rights, and not shooting people in the head.
I mean, you make that sound like a completely unreasonable position.
At least not in the same manner and volume as the others do. They are the long-standing provisional rulers of Revachol now, the coalition government.
The rulers of Revachol.
Darn.
And also the world. These guys are strong.
Are you saying that I can't spin kick them? That sounds like a challenge.
This is their zone of control. They embolden the RCM with crumbs of the same law they took. Technically speaking, you are a moralist.
Well, option 3's kind of got my number, huh? If always picking the option that doesn't commit to anything, then heck yeah, I am, and also not. I wonder if choosing that is enough to provoke the game into giving me, like, a different ideology of, like, you just, like, don't care. You're just, like, a privileged idiot. I mean, to be honest, I'm not sure I fully understand how the moralists fit into this. It's, like, not a true ideology as far as I'm familiar with it. Not at least in this, like, context. But, like, generally speaking, if they're for, like, not war for its own sake, I feel like I'm probably closer to moralist than most things that have come up so far. Which is probably not gonna like that answer, though. I like what I've heard about these
A devout man of the center. Hard to come by. It's good to have someone who takes a moderate approach to head shooting.
That's all I'm saying!
In your line of work, I mean.
That's literally all I'm saying. When was the kerfuffle?
The turn of the century revolution? Don't answer it. It's a trick question. The revolution began in '02 on the Isla of Grad, though by the end, nearly the whole world had gotten involved.
Who started it? It wasn't always burning, was it?
It wasn't a who, but a what. A pandemic of Zarat, a particularly virulent prion disease, which the authorities in Grad proved unable to contain. Then Marzolf came along and overthrew the government.
What did Zarat do?
It made people overthrow their governments.
Nuh-uh.
Indeed. Zarat is a highly infectious microorganism that destroyed brain tissue.
Ugh.
The actual causes of the revolution were material. The pandemic only provided the spark.
Where did it start from?
From Revachol and Grad? Not far. The world managed to cauterize itself. Marzolf's government was overthrown in '08, and the coalition crushed the Revachol commune 2 years later. It was the end.
And then?
Why? You and I, officer. Our lives in the zone of control.
Zone of Control sounds like a Dungeons and Dragons spell.
Something tells you her life and yours are not that similar. Maybe it's because she has a boat and you have that necktie? A pair of pants?
When you frame it that way, that does seem like a reasonable conclusion to draw. I agree. I'm not sure that we're the same, you and I. I begged you for $100 so that I can sleep at night, and you own a boat.
No doubt. But we share the same time and position on the planet's crust. That counts for more than you think.
Hey, Haggis, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the 65-month resub. Haggis says, I heard we'd given up on communism. I'm quite disappointed. Take this as your first payment for re-education. Also, 4 months remain. It's true. Hey, fun fact. You may not know this because it happened during the stream that got eaten by my internet service provider just completely crapping out. I did get my first 69-month resub, and it was my mom. So that's a weird fact for you. I just, like, I don't know how to feel about the communist thing. Like, I just feel like I haven't gotten any joy out of it. I feel like the choices have mostly been, like, to just, like, tell people I don't like money.
Forever.
But, like, I also constantly need to beg people for money. So, like, it feels weird for me to be communist. I don't know. Is that nice? Oh, that's definitely nice. Don't get me wrong. That's, like, 100% nice. Hey, what's the zone of control? You keep saying that, and it sounds like a Dungeons and Dragons.
A city-state divided into free market zones under the everlasting interregnum of the Coalition of Nations. And you, of course, the citizens' militia.
Look, I'm gonna be honest. I think this character is meant to be slightly dumber than I am. Don't use words like interregnum. I can gather relative meaning from context, but also, like, what do you think you're doing?
The clatter of typewriter keys fills the main hall of the reappropriated silk mill. Precinct 41. Chad Tilbrook presses enter. Outside, Officer Elfboy Williams slams the door of an armored motor carriage.
Oh dear.
The zone of control is the third incarnation of Revachol, after the failure of the suzerain and the commune.
What about the rest of the world?
Modernity. They developed the marvels of the inter-eastlery communication. Telematic milieus, radiation, colored plastics. Meanwhile, in Revachol West, the aftermath continues for the 5th decade.
It's been like this for, like, how long?
43 years. Hard to fathom, I know.
I guess I understand that communism itself isn't about joy, but in playing a game, I mean, listen, I feel like, I know this is a radical take that not everyone agrees with, but I've always felt like games should be fun. I'm not saying it's like had a negative effect on things, but like, I think more than anything what I mean is like, I don't feel like it contributes to my enjoyment of the game to have it, if that somehow makes that clearer. I know there's some finite limit to how many thoughts I can have, and frankly it seems like way more thoughts than I can have in my head in real life, but like, I don't know. What have we been doing for 43 years?
The 20s saw a decade of urban war, west of the river leveled, offshore platforms in flames. Still, it's regarded as an improvement on what came before. 08 to 19 was simply hell. The 30s? Things settled down in the 30s. Revachol East transformed itself into the world's largest tax haven, with the international community's blessing. For the first time in a long time, it seemed like things were going somewhere.
Were they?
No.
Oh.
It was a market mirage fueled by cocaine and quantitative easing. The 40s dispelled it like a cold splash, an Isla-wide hangover, you might say. And here we are.
I genuinely don't know why I gained 5 experience. I guess that's... Does that mean I have too few or too many thoughts? Can you hear yourself think?
Welcome to reality, baby.
Oh, apparently that was the entire rundown on reality. I kind of thought there was more.
From the looks of it, the 50s haven't been much better for the zone of control. You can see it in her eyes. Days slipping away.
You don't seem thrilled.
I've no right to be dissatisfied. This shirt is Barbara Muscova, this raincoat is impervious to rain and is guaranteed for 100 years. My daughters will wear it. No, it's just...
My shirt doesn't have a name, but I do have a horrific necktie that speaks to me occasionally.
We could have had so much more. Every one of us. If only we played it right.
What would you have done differently?
Good question. What would you have done differently?
Hmm. Really, sir? You like one? The non-committal one? I guess I have no guarantee that if I answer, she'll also answer. That's true. I mean, like, I've chosen I am the law as many times as I can, and I don't seem to have gained any sort of personality quirk from that, which is genuinely confounding to me. You first. I asked
And
first.
I asked you, past-less detective of the Citizens Militia, what insight has acute encephalopathy given to you?
Well, when you just refuse to answer my question, I guess we're stuck here. Hey, wait, I asked you.
And I asked you,
Oh, that's fair.
past-less detective of the Citizens Militia, what insight has acute encephalopathy given to you?
The only thing I'm confused about with 3, which side am I positing I would have killed? Because, like, I don't think my vision of the character kills just to kill. He's fine with violence, but he's not like a psychopath. This feels like a bold statement unless I am taking some sort of strong ideological stance. I feel like 4 is sort of just like shiftless capitalism. I kind of... I'm kind of inclined to 2, to be honest. Just because, like, I don't really like these other answers, but, like, 2 seems like it sort of fits. Like, it's the plan A, right? I was talking before about my, like, vision of the I am the law character, and it's like... seeks the peaceful solution first, but doesn't shy away from leveraging the physical instrument. I feel like 2 is the best fit for
A
that.
cold creeps up your spine, reaching its tendrils up your neck, toward the back of your head.
So a quarter of humanity simply lost their minds. And how would you stop a prion, a complex folding protein, unlife, with a technology 50 years ago?
See, I kind of feel like 2 applies again. It sounds a lot harsher, but now, like, there's a concrete reason to do it. It's like, so if the people insist on just violence for its own sake, then I apply the physical instrument. The first one is plan A, and then she's like, well, how do you expect to do that? I'm like, well, plan B.
The wind stops, and for a moment, there's silence. The charge dissipates into the dark water. All is quiet on the Martinez Inlet. A dog barks. A gunshot echoes off the walls of some distant building. A woman's voice.
Pokma, thy cannons.
Why did Shivers suddenly become a woman for, like, a really short period of time?
Liquidate? That's what King Philip kept screaming from the Sol Aurum. Liquidate! Liquidate! In the end, they liquidated the Sol Aurum, melted the palace cube down to gold and platinum, and sold it for bullets. Strange times.
Opinions expressed here do not reflect the official position of the RCM.
And what is your official position, Lieutenant?
There is curiosity there that goes unnoticed. Kim takes a step back, absent-mindedly.
My position, ma'am? My parents got ripped to shreds in the revolution. I would have gone the same way. I was saved by being 2 years old. That's my position. The abattoir.
Yikes forever.
Understandable.
That's enough about the times. I kind of started zoning
They
out.
are what they are. Who knows? An afterbloom may yet come. Anyway,
Yikes
enough
forever.
sentimentality. Is there anything else you want to know?
Okay, I think I just want to do one more and then, like, move on, I think. I'm gonna give a shot to this Esprit de Corps. And if that works, that'll be the one, and when it inevitably fails because I have a 42% chance of success, I'll probably do 3.
It remains a mystery what you mean by this something close. This isn't about you. It's about reality.
So, tell me about encephalopathy.
It's a neurological disorder caused by a lack of vitamin B in the brain. Symptoms include a retrograde amnesia, It's quite serious. You should get yourself checked out.
She conveys it in short, cold bursts, trying not to invest too deeply in the condition of this doomed detective.
How does that happen?
Well, it's either bariatric surgery or long-term alcohol use.
Probably from the surgery, then.
That seems unlikely.
Well, I don't know, because I was born yesterday.
What this boils down to is, this reality thing is stupid. Blow this joint, grab a bottle, and drain that shit right down your throat.
Yes, and perform autoerotic asphyxiation on yourself with your funny necktie, out in the open somewhere.
I mean... Nah? Like, nah. Nah, I'm in the midst of learning about reality. I should live there.
She stares at you, head tilted to the side, with a slightly concerned look on her face.
Hang on a second. So the current time is actually approaching 5. Trying to decide. Maybe I should go... Hold on, he's got a point. Just let him cook. I think I'm gonna go talk to the union people, and then if I have time before meeting with Martin Martinez, maybe I'll come back and do the rest of this.
Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else?
So, thoughts.
Anti-object task force. Behold, the anti-object task force has assembled. God's avenging angel.
It sounds like me.
Against the lower emanations of the darkened one. Shoe racks, tape recorders, motor carriages, and doors. So many doors. You're not just pounding it all to pieces. You're reforging the universe. From the anvil of the heavens to the worlds below. Indulge in it. Be bold. Have an impact on the shape of creation. Out of the furnace of your rage. A new reality. Also, you should trash your room again.
Interesting concept. So... Ooh! All physique learning caps increased by 1. And +1 pain threshold. Yes, very good. Told me what hey, I had committed to this like immediately upon being given a choice. That is not one I needed any coaxing on. The communism one, certainly a different story. I got some skill points, huh? Jamais-vu. Derealization. No temporary research bonus. Oh, that should also mean that, like, my lowered pain threshold should be corrected. Special Administrative Legion, the Caillou, the Insulindian Ocean, Coalition Government, etc., etc. Name after name, and none of them is familiar. They seem real, but something is wrong. You feel like a kid looking at stickers on the fridge. Trouvant, the Apricot Company. World Games 34. You can almost see your hand reaching out for them. Scratch at the corners, see if they peel loose. This feels like the most important of all thoughts, and one you must truly complete. Wow, the game is, like, not being subtle about that at all. But I will say that reading that, my hope is that it will help my character to automatically generate context for some of these names I really can't be bothered to keep straight in my head at all times. So I am inclined to, like, spend a point to open a slot for that. So I gotta... this one. Spend a point. Click this. Do it. It's gonna take some time. Got it. And then... it's like a lot of stuff I could do, huh? Any map checks I care about? I don't think I'm going to be doing any more conceptualization with Tommy Laham anytime soon. Oh, I could do the horseback monument now. That probably has something to do with talking to Joyce about the revolution. honestly don't remember what this was. Padlock door? I don't remember where that is either. Boy? I don't think I have any pressing need to level anything up here. What did I do that increased the skill cap on Shivers before that last one? That now the skill cap is exceptionally high? Probably some sort of thought. It's a rhetorical question. Let's go talk to the Union folks. I expect this to be a thoroughly unpleasant conversation. But who knows? Hang on, I decided to take a detour to do this statue real quick. Think I trigger this check from here? Did I take the boots? Nah.
Stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea.
So what happened to the body is
it's
that
being reassembled piece by piece, secured and mounted in the air with the aid.
I don't know what I would expect the button to be, but there are occasions when I'm like returning to a thing like this, it might be nice to like press a button to just skip the dialogue without advancing. So what happened with the body is that it is currently in the fridge, under the bookstore, after me going to great, incredible lengths to make that work, and it threatening to explode the stream and my computer last week. Let's think about this king. Yeah, we got +1 reality boost.
The more you ask yourself, the less you know.
That didn't go
One thing
good.
is for certain, though. Your brain damaged. It's serious and permanent.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that's probably true. I think it's because of that surgery that she was talking about. I think that's the reason why. Hope I don't need that volition for anything. Okay, they're still here. Feel like, yeah, right? Like, there's nothing, you gotta appreciate some cold boots, I feel. Now, let's think about stuff real quick. Got some, like, photos of men in overalls with guns and Union placards. Cool. You see hawthorn bushes outside. It's a bowl. There's a split in it, reeking of tobacco. Great. Talk to man?
Over here.
Oh, hang on. Apparently, I talked to her first.
Let me handle this.
Okay.
You seem a little different today. Less hospitable.
You are far from home, lieutenants. This isn't a district known for its love of self-proclaimed militiamen.
But wasn't she, like, extremely, like, personable yesterday? To the point that she gave me these gloves? And, I think, some medicine? For no cost? Then, like... Echo says, since I passed this already, story from her own playthrough, she failed to check really badly talking to this girl and had no choice but to comment on her being black. Yikes. That's a big, huge yikes. Oh my god. That's like that thing from Austin Powers where they have like a an agent at their base who has, like, a prominent mole, and they're like, just don't say anything about the mole. And then, like,
Yikes forever.
when he, like, interacts with that guy, he just starts shouting, like, moly, 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 moly. It's like, oh, it's absolutely rolled a 1 on that one. Okay, yikes.
Yikes forever.
I feel like the thing I would do is, like, say this slightly disarming comment of seeming kind of dumb. She did seem friendlier yesterday.
Not a muscle moves in her face, but her eyes trace yours, stern and perceptive.
You are looking for Titus Hardie, who you think has information on a murder the RCM is investigating. You want to interview him.
I don't think I'd ever heard that name before, but that might be true.
That's Titus. Talk to him, but know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No
Okay.
strong arming, nothing official. The District of Martinez does not recognize your authority to make arrests.
Okay, I feel like this is like the opposite of pleading the fifth. I feel like you're basically saying he's gonna tell me something extremely incriminating, and that I can't do anything about it.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our authority. We will make an arrest if we have to.
She says nothing. Her glare speaks for her.
Well, I've learned that this is probably not the best question to ask, whether or not it's fair. What? Why are you like an intermediary for this?
Obviously, I'm a lawyer.
Oh.
A legal counselor for the Dock Workers Union. I would urge you to consider what you say to my clients.
That's gonna be a problem for me. Sounds like I should talk to Titus. Incidentally, I was trying to do that.
This is where you say your bid.
What's happening? Hello? Ah. Yeah, I think that sounds right, Haggis. I think women love it when you ask them why they're so mad. And, like, not to be that guy, but, like, there's additional stigma considering that she is a black woman, and there's just, like, a history of mischaracterizing that. So, like, it's extra bad.
Detective.
Lieutenant acknowledges me with a sharp note, somehow not understanding that I am the law, but I'm probably not the person of this conversation. I don't know, man. The strong silent act worked really well on Evrart. Do you think it'll work well on the Union guys?
Hey, dipshit. You hard of hearing or something? The boss man's talking to you.
Let me just real quick cross my arms a bit.
What, is he fucking kidding? This guy high or something?
Hey, asshole, up here. We're talking to you.
We are looking for Titus Hardie.
We need to talk about that hanged man.
Oh, this is about him. A real looker, that one.
Okay, I'm just briefly going to take a moment. I don't mean to be overly critical or disparaging. The voice acting in this game, very, very good. Especially surprising considering that it was originally released with no voice acting. So, you know, some real care was put into that. Who is this guy?
You sure took your time, huh? Waited for him to get real ripe and pretty for you.
This man's name is Shanky.
Oh, he was a real pretty boy. Hanging up there, letting out that pretty boy smell.
I'm gonna regret asking this. What does that smell
I
like?
can't for the life of me understand why you did it. I mean, I would have just left him up there. You must really like cleaning up other people's shit.
I remember when I said I figured this would be a really unpleasant conversation. Here we are. Incidentally, I would like to point out, just in this moment, just in case you're not thinking about it, I'm currently wearing a frog visor. Some sort of visor with, like, cartoon frog eyes on it. Also carrying around a bag in which I am stowing some amount of recyclables. I think currently that amount is 0, but, like, you get the point. I'm just carrying just, like, a loose bag around.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
Awesome. I feel like this probably should have come up in my reality lowdown. Like, why is everyone the literal worst?
These guys are so macho, they're ready to confess to first-degree murder. Ask if it was them.
That's honestly probably true, but I don't know if they'll literally do that. Your first question, roundhouse kick, question mark?
Questions? To hell with that. Get right up in the big dick's face. Physical confrontation.
I like this exchange because this, to me, this is what the character is. It's like, I bet we could just get them to tell us, but I think they suck and I want to spin kick them. I don't think I want to say 4. I don't think that... I imagine that would be like an attempt to intimidate them that I also think would not work, and also provides them more information than they need. I'm a little torn here because I feel like there are good options for both of the things that I want to do. I feel like I want to take the step closer and then ask 3. Like, in terms of priorities, I feel like the thing I want to do is just say 3. Did you do it? Did you do the crime? And in terms of, like, not cowing to their attempt to intimidate me, I feel like I want to try the power play.
The room is silent. The leader does not flinch. Get further in there. Escalate.
I don't think I want to do that. I don't think I want to fight a room full of them. I don't have a gun. I don't think it helps anything. It just causes more crime.
What are you looking at, Copper?
You do it?
Pretty boy. You guys really love talking about that pretty boy.
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
I have spoken to the dead man in a bizarre occult vision. Why is there a container belt around his neck?
Container belt? Like we use in the harbor?
Yeah.
Because we took it from the harbor where we work. Then we went out back and used it to hang him.
There we go. See, he said the thing. Hey, Chriswich, welcome to the stream. I know the feeling. Time is a construct. How are you doing? It's nice to have you back, no matter how long it has been.
We did this. Together. All of us. Until he was dead. That's why there's a container belt around his neck.
I mean, these are both basically the same answer. I feel like 2's a little arrogant for my taste. So, like, you did the murder, yeah?
Goddamn right.
No. These 7 honest men have equally come forth. They told you what happened so that you don't waste any more of your time.
They're just honest men. They're just innocent men who just confessed to a murder. That's all. Who started it?
Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. You can't arrest a Hardie boy without arresting all Hardie boys. Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all?
I feel like if there's any success to be had here, I think I'm better off trying to provoke this guy who, like, is totally willing to confess to murder in the first place. Because, like, whether or not it's, like, specifically him, these guys all have kind of the same attitude. So, like, I feel like he'd be willing to be like, I'm the most important one.
Who do you fucking think does?
The biggest animal dominates the herd. Why doesn't Ross simply eat the other friends? I kind of think it's... I feel like it's 2 again. Like, I feel like insinuating that, like, it's not, like... I'm not sure that they would like me saying that it's Everart, but, like, I feel like they would acknowledge that to some extent. I just kind of feel like if I randomly point at one of them, they're kind of not going to take it seriously. If I say that, like, this woman who's, like, not part of their gang did it, like, I feel like they'll, like, get annoyed and then clarify, and that's what I'm looking for.
It wasn't a question, dickwad. How fucking stupid are you?
This asshole is worse than... Titus runs the Hardie Boys, genius. That's
How would that be why we're called the Hardie
Boys? Ain't that right, fellas?
Okay, but see, like, it's important as a police officer for you to say.
I think you got your answer, Mr. Law.
See, this man understands that I am the law.
Yes, there are some administrative differences. But on that night, they all acted as one man.
The thought weft. The hive mind. Why'd you do it?
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And he stepped out alive in my town.
I mean, we know he was a mercenary. We also have reason to think that he did, in fact, step out of line. The thing I would like to ask is for him to explain that part and not this, but I'm assuming that if I say this, he'll, like, elaborate on the rest of it.
And he stepped out of line.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind, too. Had Kohoy and Semenine written all over him. Ex-Oranese Special Forces.
Devotion says he would like to see a real cop play this game to see what they'd do. I'm not sure that would be necessarily as enlightening as you think, because, like, a big part of the ideology of this game at large is that, like, you don't actually have the authority that, like, police do in the way you're probably familiar with. So, like, you have to make these weird concessions instead of just leveraging your authority, which is, I feel like, what would happen in a lot of these cases. But maybe I'm wrong about that. Hey, Sniper Justin, welcome to the stream. You're just in time, because that's when you showed up. How you doing?
A live grenade. Right here in our bar.
I beg your pardon?
This one has a special gripe with him coming here.
I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that. Story of every strike from here to Samara.
I guess there's not enough bullets for a U.S. cop. I mean, we don't even have our gun, which is a problem. It's kind of several problems. Look, I want as much information as they'll give.
Cause one night, he walked straight up to the mic and said, I'm RNE's goddamn Special Forces, and I'm gonna fuck you all!
Unclear if true.
Really?
Yeah, really. Had a gin and tonic up there, sang some RNE's paratrooper song, and said he's gonna fuck everyone.
This guy's voice sounds a little familiar.
We couldn't believe it either, but he fucking did. Right there. Like some kind of animal.
Will you elaborate on the thing he did to step out of line, please?
Wrong. He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers, threatened to kill some as a warning.
There's a slight unease in him, suddenly. He regrets mentioning the rape.
To kill us all, If we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over. And that was before he started coming here.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started coming here every night. Drinking, grabbing girls. Grabbed one of ours mid-karaoke, right there on the stage.
Yikes forever.
He grabbed someone?
Yeah. This girl's on the mic. A beautiful girl. Young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. The fucker grabs her legs, starts screaming. Show me your cunt! Why don't you show me your cunt? Then, he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle. Doesn't even fall down.
Was this the same girl who was the victim you alluded to?
Aren't you fucking listening? My man is talking to you. He took care of it. They got the girl out before anything else could happen.
Yeah, me and Eugene got her out. Aren't you fucking listening?
Okay, but who was raped then by your account?
No, you're not getting the name. That's a Martinez matter, and I'm not discussing it with you clowns.
There's nothing you can do for now. He's stonewalling you.
When did it happen?
You don't have to keep answering his questions.
I know, Lizzie. Relax. We killed him last Sunday night. Seemed like a good way to end the week.
Would you say that these chaps are all Sunday friends with each other? I'll admit that my understanding of a Sunday friend is still somewhat context-based. My assumption is no, but do you think? How long did you know him? Which is kind of less about the crime itself and more about how long he was, like, out here messing with stuff.
Known him? We don't associate with scum like that, asshole.
Yeah! Who do you think we are?
The Hardie boys, you're all pretty bad.
Quiet. He came around about 3 weeks ago when that Pines cow first sailed into town. Happy?
By the Pines cow, you mean Joyce Messier? The representative for White Pines? The same company you're striking against?
Like I said, Sunday friends for sure. That's why they acted as one. Yes. I guess this is Sunday friend is a friend you wear to church? Maybe? Again, I'm going by context. It might mean something else, though.
No. I mean the Pines cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us
Very
over.
helpful.
But you know what?
Saturday friends are friends you watch cartoons with and eat cereal with after sleepover. Definitely true.
This is where he tries to sow discord between you two. Because he knows the company is responsible for bringing the mercenaries into town.
Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say when you ask her hard enough.
Not really sure what you mean by that.
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions.
I definitely want to ask how they killed him to see. I'm hoping that will let me take another look at the body and verify at least whether they're telling the truth. And maybe finally pass that super hard check or whatever.
We hanged him up by his neck until he got real still. Wasn't that obvious?
We have reason to believe that's not true, though.
Didn't they teach you anything at the cop school, idiot?
The autopsy showed there were no ligature marks. His hands were not tied. Can you explain that?
Look, I'm not gonna play 20 questions with
you. Yeah, they're definitely
Capo.
covering something.
Say it again. We killed him.
Yeah, I knocked him out. Came up behind him and clapped him in the back of the head. He went down like a sack of sand.
Didn't someone just say he got hit with a wine bottle and, like, got mad?
That's right, lawman.
Ooh.
And then we hanged the fuck.
Ooh. Okay, I think I can ask the questions before doing this check. I am not opposed to putting a point in composure to try and get better odds on this. Composure seems like a reasonable one to, like the few times I've had a composure check, it's something that I feel like I would like to pass for my character to sort of stand his ground as, like, a self-assured whatever. But, like, we'll see if maybe I get, like, a bonus from, like, asking these other questions first, because I think I can do them. Because, like, 4 looks like it's back out of this, and so normally you can do all the other ones first. Yeah, I know, 42% is, like, crazy cursed. Like, those odds aren't that bad, but, like, I really hesitate to go for a 42% if I care about it. So what did you use to knock him out?
My fucking elbow, Copper. Samaran boxing style.
And where did that happen? Was that in the backyard too?
Right fucking here.
Okay.
Eugene already told you that the fuck had started coming to our bar.
Yeah, man. Weren't you listening?
Okay. I'm gonna do it. I would like that. Potion. Only got one backup point. Strange answer to tied hands. And a skill point. No whammies!
Actually,
God.
they're admirably, surprisingly composed. The entire room. Given how many questions you've lobbed their way.
Stupid game. Stuff is so frustrating. I mean, like, I get that I'm not supposed to pass all the checks. I get that I'm not going to pass all the checks. Almost any check I care about, I'm incapable of passing no matter what the percentage is. 58 is pretty good odds, frankly. All of them? Maybe one of them is fidgeting. I don't know.
This one, but he's always fidgeting, so don't get your hopes up.
Other
like
questions.
what, Copper?
It's just, I don't know, man. Like, people love giving me a hard time about it, but, like, how am I not supposed to be demoralized by that? Like, no matter how much I try to prepare for something, I just keep losing the rolls. Some amount of that is fine. When there's, like, fun or interesting things that happen from it, like, it's not so frustrating. But, like, it just happens all the dang time. I guess I might as well ask one.
How many people have you sent to the Shays? Ever felt remorse for them?
I don't know. I was born yesterday, but I am the
Or
law.
send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life.
What we do is different. We enforce the law because I am the law.
But you see, a lawman, is something people agree upon. And here in Martinez, we agreed that this man had to die.
I don't agree with his conviction, but I at least appreciate his argument to some extent. This is tough. I don't feel as though trying option 6 will actually lead to them all murdering me in the cafeteria section of this hostel. I don't know what bad thing I expect to happen exactly. It wouldn't probably be good. It's possible that, like, Elizabeth just intervenes and, like, basically nothing happens. But I kind of feel like I am the law, so, like, I can't just go without trying, right? Like, besides, this is just a hypothetical question that's gonna lead to me getting shot in the cafeteria section of a hostel.
Yeah, lawman. Why don't you?
Not in the arresting mood?
By your side, the lieutenant keeps his hand away from his holster. You hear the nylon of his coat hiss as he steps closer. Easy. Walk back from the provocation. They're armed, and they outnumber us. The lieutenant tries to establish eye contact with you.
I feel like if the Esprit de Corps tells me how to do a police procedure, I'm inclined to listen to it. Like, I mean... But I do... I mean, like, listen, I do feel like my character is not afraid to go vigilante and to apply force. I don't know that he is, like, actively self-destructive in that specific way. So, like, I feel like between the instinct presented here and also the fact that, like, Kim is trying to tell me that, like, we will take a different way, I think I legitimately should try to find another way. Like, I don't know if I'll actually be able to do it, but, like, I think that's enough justification that, like, as much as I am the law, there's a limit to what one man from Heimdall can do.
Wise move. You made the right choice there. Now make another one and get the fuck out of our booth. We're not gonna do this again.
So, what now?
Nothing. Your investigation here is done. Leave Martinez, go back to your stations where you belong.
I think we're going to stick around, thanks. Some things don't add up here, Titus. I've done this job for long enough to know that people don't just confess to first-degree murder. Even if it is a group responsibility, we're going to look into this.
Good luck with that. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is gonna hear from us. Real law officials. You're lucky you didn't get a beating.
Rent-a-cop? So that's what this is about. He doesn't see you as his equals.
Yeah, I got that from the mission objective, but thank you, suggestion. I appreciate
Forget about their games. You've mapped out the characters. Reading the footprints in the yard should be easier now.
I feel like failing this check could literally kill me. But, like, I don't think I walk away from this conversation without trying this.
Establish authority. Yes. Authority. Feverish thoughts race through your mind.
Turn to the lieutenant. Kim, I need your gun. Four is funny. I feel like I want to say 2. 3? Wait, Neko says, "Oh no, I've done number 3. Do that one." Which is a real roller coaster of a sentence. Like, it's bad, but you should definitely do it. No, you're right. I know I failed the check. I know I'm trying to intimidate them. Apparently it's pretty good.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
This is not what he thinks it is. This is a great idea.
Thanks, Authority. I appreciate the insight.
I'm afraid it's not what you think it is either.
Everybody calm down. This is only a demonstration. Kim, the gun, please.
What in the name of fuck are you doing?
But I don't want to give you my gun, not after the last time.
Rude, very rude. It's a hurtful thing to say to me.
What the fuck is happening, Titus? What are they whispering about?
Easy, Shanks. I want to see where this is going.
Number 4 is insane. I know what I'm doing. It's not my first day on the police job. It is, however, my second day on the police job. Jacket coat. I'm not scared. I know what I'm doing.
And what is that?
I am merely flesh.
Merely what? Be careful, it's loaded.
Why did he give me the gun?
Good. Now put it in your mouth.
Authority has not typically steered me wrong. It's like that Hey Arnold episode where like you had to be unpredictable in order to like de-escalate the bullies. Purely a demonstration, I am merely flesh.
What are you doing?
Genuine panic flies across the lieutenant's face.
Fellas, you getting any of this?
Oh my god, what the heck? Oh, jeez. I mean, obviously these are all extremely bad options. I think 4? I think 4? I'm getting to the bottom of this. You will respect me.
We'll solve the case. Look at me. Don't worry. This demonstration is not helping at all.
No, hang on. I think it's working.
Inside the small mechanism, you can hear a spring tensing up.
Yeah. Cause I sorta wanna see that shit.
You won't, man. His fucking balls ain't big enough.
Listen, I'm gonna be completely transparent with you. There is some part of me that's like, if I screw this up the maximum amount and either demoralize myself one more time or end up killing myself, then I'll have no choice but to reload and have another attempt at that check, which is probably not the correct way to play this game. However, there's the notion of content, and this is certainly an outcome that you may not see playing the game on your own. So I'm like genuinely torn as to what the right thing to do here is. I mean, obviously, if I simply don't want to die, it's like, give the gun back. But like, I don't know. Because, like, it's kind of an even split, but, like, part of me is just inclined to, like, I'm so mad about failing that stupid check, because I'm so petty, that I'm just like, this is a legitimate justification, as Chrono says, hashtag not a save scum. The concept of killing yourself to save scum is fair. Explosion says, make the sorry cop say insane things. I mean, it's like working pretty well. Chat really wants me to put my faith in authority. I feel like we can't not go. We are sort of already here. Also, welcome to the stream, Brain Explosions. I hope you're doing well. I also hope that your moniker is not a grim vision of the future. By the way, these are the thoughts in my head.
What in the name of motherfuck?
Acidic taste on your lips. Corrosive. Once as a child, you put your tongue against the rail. It was winter. That...
The fuck is he saying?
Some insane shit.
Nothing. Give me the gun.
Greta says, we have yet to see one of those good fails people speak of. No, we've seen definitely one. Because I tried to, like, punch my way through a wall, and then I got the ability to be more powerful. Look, you better respect me.
He's not gonna off himself. Come on.
No. He'll do it. Go ahead, son. 3, 2.
2, 1. Do it. Get this one thing right.
Wait, hang on, Authority.
Ratan, we can't have any fun if you kill yourself. Painting the booth red with your brain sounds like a real blast now, but what about later? There'll be nothing.
I mean, listen, Authority was actually pretty clear on what we're supposed to do next. Again, I'm gonna be honest with you. Now I'm, like, genuinely curious about this. I don't actually, and I could completely be wrong, but I don't actually think the game will let me kill myself here. I could die by taking morale damage, for sure. But, like, now I'm genuinely kind of curious as to, like, because the Authority's, like, literally, like, nah, do it. So, like, brace yourselves? I'm gonna count down from 5 in case you don't want to see it if it actually happens, okay? 5, 4, 3, 2, I am the law. Okay, well that happened.
Deranged cop kills himself.
Well, hang on, did it work
Citizens are
though?
shot as a deranged law official reportedly from the 41st precinct shot himself in the head last night in the middle of a crowded
Crowded sounds generous, but sure.
Martinez. The exact details of the incident have not been revealed, but first-hand witnesses claim that the officer was making a point. Can't say I'm surprised, Lawrence Gart, manager of the Whirling in Rags cafeteria, where the incident took place, commented he was extremely unstable and had threatened to kill himself before.
Yeah, see, I'm with you, Brain Explosions. I do feel as though the important thing that got left out of this article is whether they respected me in the end. And that feels, like, important. Okay, that's fair. Gonna have to go ahead and load that save now. Whoops!
Let me handle this.
You seem a little different today.
You are far from home, Lieutenant. This isn't a district known for its love of self-proclaimed militiamen.
Trying to decide if I want to, like, start this differently. At least we died the law. I think that's important, too. But again, I feel like I'd feel better about that outcome if I knew whether they respected me in the end. Let's talk seriously.
Not a muscle moves in her face, but her eyes trace yours, stern and perceptive.
You are looking for Titus Hardie, who you think has information on a murder the RCM is investigating. You want to interview him. That's Titus. Talk to him, but know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong-arming, nothing official.
It doesn't matter if you reckon.
She says nothing. Her glare speaks for her.
I should talk to Titus. Hello, Titus.
This is where you say your bit.
All right, the really long pause. I was like, what's happening?
Detective.
We need to talk about that guy.
Oh, this is about him. A real looker, that won't.
It's true, okay, so you did miss me gaining respect in genuinely the worst possible gambit.
You sure took your
It definitely
time, huh?
wasn't
Waited for
a
it.
roundabout
Real
save
ripe
scum.
and pretty
It was
for you.
definitely to prove a point that the game will let me just literally kill myself. Which now I know. I didn't know that before, and now I do.
Oh, he was a real...
I can't for...
You might want to...
These guys are so macho, they're ready. Questions? To hell with that. Get right up in the big dick's face. Physical confrontation.
You do it?
The pretty boy. You guys really love talking about that pretty boy.
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
Why was there a container belt?
Container belt? Like we used? Because we took it from the harbor where we work. Then we went out back and used it to hang him. We
Cool.
did this together. All of us.
You just confessed to a murder, my guy?
Goddamn right.
No. These 7 honest men have equally come forth. They told you what happened so that you don't waste any more of your time.
How many people have you...
I'm just gonna
reunion to rot for 20
blast
years.
through these questions the same way I did
Life.
before. We enforce the law
But you
because I am the
see,
law.
lawman, is something people...
Who called the
you
shots?
deaf? Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could...
Who calls
Who
the
do you
shots?
fucking think does?
It
She
wasn't
does.
a question, Dick.
This asshole.
I think.
Yes, there are some...
When did it
I
happen?
know, Lizzie. Relax. We killed him.
How long have you known him? And everyone gets upset.
Quiet.
By the Pine Skull.
No.
This is where he tries to sow
Why don't you ask her about...
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer. your
Why'd you do
interview
it?
is dro-
Why? I am.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows...
A live grenade.
Came to
This
like
one is
Union Bust
not
and he sucks and we hate him.
But I know.
How do you know he was
'Cause
Special
one night,
Forces?
he walked straight up to the mic.
Alright, because he literally said.
Yeah,
I sort of forgot
We couldn't
that.
believe it either.
Wrong.
And what did he
This is
do?
like
Well, he was
kill us
horrible
all.
towards all the women.
He said it was his...
He grabbed some...
Yeah. Show me your cunt. Why don't you show me your cunt? He gets knocked on the
Is
head.
this the
Aren't
same
you fuck...
person?
Me and Eugene got her out.
Who was the
No.
victim?
There's nothing you can do for now. He's stonewalling you.
How did you
We
kill him?
hanged him up by...
Didn't they teach you?
The autopsy showed there were no legal...
We... Look.
Yeah, I knocked him out. Came up behind him and clubbed him in the back of the head. He went down like a sack of sand.
That's right, lawman. And then we hanged the fuck.
What did you do to knock him
My
out?
fucking elbow, Copper. Samaran boxing us right
When this
fucking
happened
here.
here.
Yeah,
Okay.
man. Weren't you
I
listening?
just wanted to repeat all of that in case any of that was important to my notes, which I genuinely don't think most of it was. And now, composure. Level up. Save. Just like one more try.
Titus is solid as a rock, and so are a few others. But
First tell me who's solid.
Elaine, who looks like he might be Titus's right-hand man, the least antsy of the bunch. Definitely not his first time being questioned by the police. This little rat-faced fellow is solid, too. Always fidgety, yes, but no change there.
If he's always fidgety, then he's not particularly fidgety under pressure.
Me neither. Mostly keeps to his tomato juice, or whatever he's got there.
So who's cracking under pressure? For some reason, this line is not voiced. This one, he's sweating profusely and has difficulty breathing. They've smartly kept him out of the conversation so far. Definitely the weakest link in the chain. I see. So maybe it's possible if I called that guy out before, when they ask who's in charge, like he panics and then that like tips me off, is probably how that's supposed to go, or how that can go. How you doing, big guy?
No.
He looks up, startled, his forehead shiny from sweat. A few coiled locks are peeking out from under his warm woolen hat.
Of course he's having trouble breathing. Just look at how fucking fat he is.
Cool guy, good friend.
Fuck off, Shanky. Angus is a powerful guy. All muscle.
Keep your eye on this powerful guy. Sooner or later, he's going to break like a piece of twig.
There's something you're not telling me.
And fuck you, too, Copper. Picking on Angus like this. We're done with this schoolyard shit. And just so you know, he doesn't have trouble breathing.
His all-muscle comment wasn't sarcastic. He's genuinely trying to look out for Angus.
No, I got that.
This one is a stone wall. You won't get more out of them about the night of the murder. Not yet.
Thanks, Composure. I guess I have other questions.
What, Copper?
Why don't I arrest
Yeah,
you?
lawman.
Yeah, it's funny. Welcome to the street. We definitely didn't save Scum at all. We just died and had to redo that and happened to pass the check the second time. I know you just showed up, so you have no context. How are you doing, Ice Bunny? I hope you are well. This guy is far less bad. You mean Titus Kronos? I agree. I mean, he's very bad. But he's not, like, utterly and completely, thoroughly, morally reprehensible. The way that, like, the majority of random people here are. Like, the fact that, like, you can pass an empathy check to tell that, like, he's trying to help another person in any meaningful way is like, yeah, he's genuinely better than the average person who lives here.
Not in the arrest.
By your side, easy. Walk back from the provocation. They're armed.
Nah, we're good.
Wise move. You made.
So what now?
Nothing. Your investigation here is done. Leave Martinez, go back to your stations where you belong.
I think we're going to stick around, thanks. Some things don't add up here, Titus. I've done this job for long enough to know that people don't just confess to first-degree murder, even if it is a group responsibility. We're going to look into this.
Good luck with that. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is gonna hear from us. Real law officials. You're lucky you didn't get a beating.
Rent-a-cop? So that's what this is about. He doesn't see you as his equals. Forget about their games. You've mapped out the characters. Reading the footprints in the yard should be easier now.
I think I got exactly a 6 to pass this last time. It is interesting that it tells me to go check the footprints again. I imagine having passed that other check makes that even easier. I'll say this. I think I definitely... Like, I'm obliged to make this check that I will almost definitely fail again. 1, I feel like it's in character. 2, I deserve that damage. I own that fully. But, like, this time I will not do the extremely bad thing is the difference.
Establish authority. Yes. Authority. Feverish thoughts race through your mind.
Look, I'm the only thing keeping this town from going to the bad place. And you're not helping, finger point. Nego says 4 could be good. It's true, 4 could be good. Also, I may have a chance to say one of the others if I just say that's it, because that's not out loud. That's like me talking to authority. Sure.
Did you already try the gun thing? I hear the gun thing is excellent and has great results.
Oh, no, that was good. That was worth it. That was very good. Did you... The thing I like about this is because if you have done the gun thing, you would have died and needed to reload, so the game wouldn't know whether you've done it again. The thing I said earlier, I am the law.
And what exactly is it you've been doing that's so goddamn special? Shitting yourself in front of us. Going around, harassing kids on the street. Kids who've done nothing wrong.
They're just normal kids. They're just innocent kids. Look, at least one of those kids may or may not have been armed by me, so they're presumably safer, right?
All the while talking racist shit. Don't think we aren't watching, fascia. People here trust us. We're getting complaints.
I probably inadvertently said something racist, or maybe they just heard me entertaining the notion of the horrible racist thoughts with the guy on the bridge. I'm not currently defecating, in a literal sense. Maybe figuratively.
Of course you are. E, didn't Carly work in a diaper shop?
Yeah. Callie said you've been hanging around the adult diaper shop, browsing the aisles. Too ashamed to ask for assistance.
Now that I can believe. And then there's the matter of the floor being completely covered in feces.
Yes. Shit, feces, poop, scatological jokes. If you don't have anything more to say, then we are going to go back to asking questions.
You don't have to be the butt of every joke. You're making the lieutenant look bad. Just stick to what you know. Guns.
Scan the room.
No. Eyes here. You got business with my boys. You got business with me.
The boys are too eager to please him to keep their mouths shut. You're gonna get a good head count here. Just wait.
Yeah! You fuck with the Hardie boys, you fuck with Titus Hardie.
Relax, Dennis. No one is fucking you yet.
Yeah, Dennis, calm down. No one's fucking you, you stupid fuck.
Let Dennis enjoy his fucking, man. We don't mind.
You notice gang tattoos. The man must be either Mesk or Ceramirizian. Does my character really acknowledge that?
You're not even being fucked, Dennis.
Easy, fellas. We got company. Let's see what brings the cop around.
Too late. You already scanned the room. You got a pretty good picture.
I did? What did I get a picture of?
Of the actors here. You could take another look at the tracks in the mud on the crime scene. Compare it to these guys.
So there's multiple ways to get that as well. Okay. I should go. And then we're gonna... Actually, hold on. Before I save... Let's take a morale heal. Just so I don't die immediately the next time I get embarrassed, which happens in, like, literally every gosh darn conversation. Well, that was a time that we had. Chat, quickly, give me some sort of quantitative analysis of how much fun you had during that conversation. It doesn't have to be literally numerical, but, like, tell me. Might as well go look at the footprints, I guess. Although the last time I failed at that, I did take morale damage. Here's the footprints.
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked here.
It's a good answer, Arcades. It was funny as poop, feces, excrement. Oh my god. Oh my god. There's a +1 bonus for visual calculus telling you to do visual calculus here. That's so good. I love how dumb that is. Alright, I mean, I'm definitely gonna fail this a second time. It's 42%.
8 pairs of boots have shuffled back and forth in the mud. Where else have we seen a gang of men in work boots? That's right. The Hardie boys in the mess hall of whirling in rags.
Go over them one by one. Oh, hang on.
1. Standard work boot. Steel reinforced toes. Number 46. Just like Titus was wearing in his booth. This is the big dick. Titus Hardie. The one with the bald cap on his head.
Interesting.
Is it? They didn't even bother to change boots. Putting them on the scene is easy. Maybe even too easy.
Would you not describe that as interesting? The fact that it might be too easy? It says Vasco succeeds. What? Yeah, I mean, I stand by it, because you've seen me play this game.
2. Standard work boot. Steel reinforced toes. Number 44. Either the blonde muscular guy, Glenn, or the young guy with a plectrum around his neck.
I'll say this, like, visual calculus is, like, definitely not the strong suit of this character. I really like... I've seen, like, 2 of these now. I find this really interesting. I like this skill.
3. Hobnailed work boot. Steel-reinforced toes. Number 43. The inked banger, perhaps. 4. Standard work boot. Number 45 or 46. Theo, the old smoker. You think you even see a tiny fleck of cigarette ash inside the print.
What else you got?
5. Another standard work boot. Reinforced toes. Number 44. Same as before. Either the musician, Eugene, or the muscle-bound blonde, Glenn. 6. Light as air. Same make of boot. But number 41. Small like a rat. Shanky.
Should have gotten this earlier.
Better late than never, detective. The whole world is dark and the tracks burn in it with strange beauty.
Keep counting.
7. The glowing outline of a standard work boot. Number 46. The imprints are twice as deep as the others. The weight exceeds 200 kilograms. Fat Angus. Carrying something?
So he would have been the one to carry the body, and that's why we get the comment that he is all muscle? But I still don't think that explains the anxiety about him.
8. Another standard work boot. Number 44. There's an aberration in the pattern of the sole. The right sole is smoother, more worn. Curious. A missing 8th Hardie boy.
Now, for some reason, my immediate thought was this person killed the 8th Hardie boy, but then if that was true, how would they have been present to hang him for doing whatever it is that he did that upset them? Whether or not it was a sexual assault.
7 sets of tracks, right? The Hardie boys were here.
8, actually.
That's all? Interesting. Then one of them seems to be missing. Anything else out of the ordinary?
Light step was Shanky, right?
I'm guessing that's the skinny Hardie boy. The one with his front teeth missing.
Yes.
I could still be wrong, but I'm probably not.
It's a heavy one.
200. This could be the combined weight of 2 people, one carrying the other who's tied up. Let's say a heavily built worker carrying a similarly built armored man. Maybe it was a fat Hardie boy, the one sitting in the middle.
He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely.
I mean, yeah, that was my conclusion as well. No, it's 1. No, I'm fine just saying it was 1.
Possibly, yes.
An aberration where one soul is smoother than the other.
Interesting. Let's name it the Odd Soul. I wouldn't be surprised if this was the missing Hardie boy. Wonder who he is.
A pirate of some sort with a peg leg?
Oh, this one's easy. Way too easy. It's a driver.
Wow, look at this. Look at this check I got. That's a fun one. A driver would wear down the right shoe before the left. The accelerator's on the right. And remember the abandoned lorry cabin we found.
There's a piece of sandpaper glued to the throttle. Which means that the missing lady driver was also present at the lynching? That's it. She's the Odd Soul.
That seems like a really incredibly important random logic check to make. It's not a super high threshold, but I did barely get that. Oh my god, 3. Good lord. Hey, Haggis, if you're still here, do you think this is a better or worse comment than the one earlier where we could call Elizabeth aggressive based on very little information? First the drug smuggling, now this. How deep does it go?
Now we know who's the missing 8th person at the lynching. Do you think that Hardie and his boys could also be involved in the drug operation?
I certainly think it's possible. The entire union is involved, maybe even all of Martinez. Jerks, definitely. Not necessarily. The lady driver could have kept the drug trade a secret. Wish I could remember something specific that would dispute that. I think 4 is probably the best answer, because I feel like it's a reasonable assumption, but also we probably shouldn't treat it as fact.
Understood. We should still go and see what Titus Hardie has got to say on the matter. This might throw them off, work in our advantage. So, what else?
How old do you think the tracks are?
A week, maybe? 7 days would fit the time frame provided to us by the caller, who reported the hanging.
It is not impossible.
How do you know visual calculus?
I pulled last week's forecast for coastal Havashol. 7 days below freezing. The day before, the day of his hanging, was the last warm day.
Correct again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve the tracks in a good state. The commotion here could have taken place a week ago.
What do you think happened here?
What do I think? A mob of people brought something heavy to the tree. One of them was carrying the victim. They shuffled around, especially under the tree. Then, after hoisting him up, they stood in a semicircle facing his direction. At first glance, this appears to be a lynching.
Indeed. They all stood in a row here and looked at the tree.
So far, so good. Only one thing missing.
He looks at the tracks, face lighting up from the realization.
Of course, there were 8 tracks, but there are only 7 Hardie boys.
But we already did this. Let him have his moment of joy.
There's 1 pair missing from the union box. The 8th pair. I'm going to say it was our old soul.
Right, the odd soul was present at the lynching, but not in the mess hall.
Yes. I doubt the Hardies are going to tell us much, but we should still confront them about the possible drug trade connection.
We've been through all of it. Now, hang on a second. Journal. Map. Oh no. Oh, I see. I can go do an... I think... Was the composure challenge with a net to try and deduce something? What skill was that? What would this check be? Okay, so none of this has reset the fridge. I didn't find anything incriminating enough about the inconsistencies to warrant another look at the fridge yet. That's what I wanted to know. Hold please. Here, I would like to... I think I just want to save over Union Men, because we're gonna talk to them in a minute, but I see the woman from next door smoking up there, and I kind of want to talk to her, just because I'm curious what will happen. And maybe I get to make the expression again? Yeah. Scoop. Oh no, she's not on the balcony. She's up on, like, the roof. So that means I have to... Can I get to there from the, like, ladder in the shed? Genuinely don't know. I'm gonna try, though. Go to her room? The third one is her, right?
The door is closed. This door can only be opened with a key or from the inside. There is no answer. You hear the shower being turned on. Somewhere inside, a tremendous loneliness comes over you. Everybody in the world is doing something without you.
Beauty, don't abandon me in all this ugliness.
The door does not care.
The door probably thinks you're a has-been loser too. You feel your funny necktie becoming tighter and tighter around your neck.
Look, you can use your advanced knowledge of the game to tell me reasonable things. I'm still gonna double check over there. Although, maybe that can wait until later now.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Apparently Titus does not look happy to see me, which is shocking to me. There are 8 of you, but there's only 7 of you. Discuss.
What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardie boy. There's 7 of us and we're all here. Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardie boy? We ain't hiring.
Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could maybe...
Oh, why would you say that, Glenn?
This person Glenn wants to hire, he really respects her.
Shut the fuck up, Glenn! I do the talking here. Now what the fuck do you want, cop?
Look, Titus is my opponent, but frankly, I'm with him on this one. Glenn should shut up.
So let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardie boy. It's a she, and you don't like us talking about her?
That's right. We're not talking about this. This is a private Hardie boys matter. Nothing to do with your shit. And you're not cops here. Don't go digging around if you don't want a bullet in the back of your head. I'm watching you.
You know, I appreciate that warning because I've actually heard that, like, a lot of people get shot in the head. Like, it seems like it's really common around here.
Good. We are all watching each other. Officer, your question.
There's no point in pushing it further, he thinks. This is already a victory. We'll learn more about this 8th Hardie sooner or later.
Speaking of sooner, we've connected you to the local drug trade.
Like hell you have. There is no local drug trade. This place is as clean as a rifle. Go back to Jamrock and ask the local junkies how clean your streets are in Precinct 41 Kilos.
Oh dang, he went there.
We'll do that. In the meantime, did you know that there's an abandoned lorry at the intersection that was used to move raw ingredients for drugs from Terminal B to Jamrock? The person driving it was present at the hanging. It was one of you. We've connected the footprints. Detective, do you want to deliver the coup de grâce?
No, the thunder is his. Leave it to the lieutenant.
I trust suggestion implicitly. You do.
Thank you. You're right, Titus. There is no local drug trade because it's all controlled by you. You're the drug trade.
That's a mighty interesting theory. I guess that's what you would need to do, theoretically. A big, strong, state-run monopoly would outcompete the runts on the street.
Yeah, man. Theoretically, that's what you would do. To get rid of the gangs, the dealers, even some of the junkies.
You would need good, trustworthy people to take their place, of course. Hardy men to run such a monopoly. For the good of the community, of course.
I'm going with 1, mainly because of my own distaste for electrochemistry, and it'll be consistent with that line. I don't believe it to be particularly important to the sort of vision for the character. I just really don't foresee myself opening up to electrochemistry under most circumstances, so this seems consistent with that.
Boo fucking who. People will always be taking drugs. Might as well do it clean and organized.
Yeah, that's what the labor movement is all about. Clean and organized. And the Hardie boys are running it.
Theoretically, of course. We're just talking politics here. My answer to your drug accusation is, how dare you? Go fuck yourself.
Okay.
Not quite yet, Mr. Hardie. There were 8 sets of prints on the crime scene. There are only 7 Hardie boys here.
The 8th Hardie, the one who's missing, she runs it, right?
My answer is, fuck off. Mind your own business. There is no 8th Hardie. I run this goddamn scene.
So, when Tommy Laham was sort of reticent to talk about her, I thought he maybe just had a personal connection with her. But now we have, like, a lot of people who are, like, very protective of this woman. It has me very curious about what kind of person she actually is.
Finally, you got something out of him. This could prove useful in the future.
And here we go. Back to the usual.
I know! Fatty walked on all 4s. He's so fucking fat, he left 2 sets of footprints.
Go fuck your mom, Dennis.
That's more like it, boys. You heard him. It was Angus on all 4s. Anything else you need to know?
Oh, that's funny. You heard him. It was some dumb thing he said as a joke. Oh my god. Wait, why is authority so low? Is one of these like super... I have a -1. Oh, right. Yeah, that was one of the reasons I wanted to drop socialism, is it's -1 authority, and I like authority. But still, that doesn't really explain it. Why is it so low? Am I wearing, like, weird clothes or something? I'll revisit that later. Is it my clothes are giving me -2? Oh, that's right. The t-shirt I got last time was like -1, isn't it? And I do think I already had -1 somewhere. Man, that's messed up. I really do think I want to get rid of socialism. Yeah, I guess we might as well talk about Joyce. Can't be the frog hat. I legitimately don't think it is. One of them is the shirt. Well, no. So I understand that it is an unlikely outcome. I get why it's 3%, but authority is rated at 2. Like, it should have a base of 5. So, like, that was what the question was. Like, all other things being equal, it should, like, by default be, like, very high. Well, somewhat high. Yeah, we might as well talk about Joyce, I guess. I don't know if that helps the authority roll.
Yeah. By friends, you mean his squad mates from Cronell.
Oh, they know more about that than I would have expected, actually.
Wouldn't want to beat up his grandma.
I heard something about some kind of tribunal. They're coming for you.
This is what happens if you take the law into your own hands. Other people start doing it too.
Let them come. The Hardie boys are right fucking here.
You heard the man. Right here. We're armed. We got the whole district behind us. And Glenn. Glenn is fucking crazy.
Yeah. A well-oiled murder machine.
The mood is on the rise. They're feeling confident, ready to punch out the whole Merc platoon.
I don't think I want to say 3, just because, like, I don't necessarily want to divulge something that maybe Joyce doesn't want the Union to know about. But, like, I feel like it's pretty reasonable to conclude that they have automatic weapons, and that should probably be, like, a concern.
We got weapons of our own. We got Ister 50s, Zeelagers. Glenn's got a knock cannon at home.
Do they pierce ceramic armor?
I guess we're gonna see, aren't we?
See what? That they don't?
Yeah. Like you've been up against ceramic armor. You haven't even seen the whole suit, right? I've seen the whole fucking thing, and it didn't make him immortal.
Interesting. There's no option to try and get him to say more about it. They would likely know something about the armor. Not guaranteed. It definitely could have happened after the fact. But, like, you know it's bad, right?
So are the local gangs. The fucking Barmy Army and the Madre scum. You've been out there. Seen any around?
I've kind of only been on, like, 3 blocks.
Yeah. Where are they now, huh? Sent back to Madre in an airtight cargo crate.
These people are trained military professionals. Special forces, as you said. They're not a gang or Barmy Army.
Whatever that is.
No, they're not. They're uncoordinated and drunk. We know more about them than you think.
If the basic facts don't scare them, I don't think saying that they're rogue does anything.
What do you mean? Okay.
Oh my god. What are these options? I'm gonna read these all out loud in case you're multitasking right now, because this is like an absurd set of choices. 1. I mean, okay, they're gonna wipe you out, Titus. 2. I mean, okay, you got this. You got the numbers. 3. I mean, okay, I'll be on your side when they come. 4, and this is very good. I mean, okay, you got one more gun on your side. Once I find mine, I lost it. 5. I mean, okay, I guess I'll be gunning you down right alongside them. I mean, I feel like there may be a subtle sense of critique from chat at large that I am not committing to sides. But, like, honestly, everyone in this confrontation is pretty bad. I'm relatively inclined to let them wipe each other out if they're all intent on being as unreasonable and villainous as possible. So I feel like my inclination is to say 1.
No, they won't. Get out of here with your negative energy.
Don't be a downer, man.
All he means is that the situation is serious.
No wonder you cops get shot to shit every day. Can't go to war with an attitude like that.
Is there actually another question about the hanging? Maybe an armor question appeared?
Again. Just get the dead guy's autograph.
Good one, Titus.
No, apparently I have no
About
questions.
fucking time.
Oh. Well, isn't that interesting? Warning him about the tribunal of the possibility of asserting authority by 5%. I genuinely don't think warning him about them being rogue changes that math significantly. So that was a +2. So I need like a 10 or better on the dice, I think. So if I, like, changed my clothes... I don't think it would be significant. I could, like... Stupid. Oh no, it's straight up -2 just from the t-shirt. That is pretty bad. Yeah, I figured there was probably more I could do. I'm just trying to wrap my head around the likelihood. I don't think I'm inclined to, like, push any further. I just felt like legitimately, I feel like my character would try to assert authority. And I also sort of feel like every time the game prompts me to do something like that, and I fail, and I have to do something to try and recover from that, it pushes the character more and more towards being able to succeed at that in the future, which is something I want. So, like, I think it's just sort of a good idea to keep an eye on that, I think. At the same time, though, I really want this shirt forever. I wonder if I can get, like, a thought that will give me +2 authority to offset that. I'm really inclined to drop socialism. I'll keep it a little longer, but I really do want to do that. So it is currently 6 in the game. Somehow thought it we'd get later than that. Actually, let me check the journal. Smoker. So I have to come after 2100. Okay, I kind of thought I had to be, like, at 2100. So we, like, definitely have some time. Game wants you to assert dominance by standing naked in front of the Hardie boys. Preferably with a gun. I heard the gun idea is a really good one. Yeah, I think I heard that somewhere too, Neko, but I can't remember where. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? Well, I know one thing I want to do. What was the composure check here?
Hello again, sir.
Oh, it was about deducing something. Why is that a composure check? I'll do it.
The girl keeps her hands folded, hidden. Why is that?
Why do you keep your hands folded, hidden?
What do you mean, sir?
She knows where this is going.
You don't need to be worried. I am the law.
She looks around anxiously. Her hands remain folded in front of her. She doesn't want to show them. The lieutenant stands by, looking at the two of you with little interest. A facade of true professionalism. He is far more intrigued by the situation than his poise reveals.
It's okay.
She brings out her reddened hands, her nails frayed, nearly chewed down to the flesh.
You bite your nails.
And you knew this from me keeping my hands folded?
This is, like, not an important decision at all, but I'm still kind of curious about what the various things would do for you. I kind of want to say 2 to see if he'll just, like, do some Sherlock Holmes nonsense and list a bunch of small details, but I think I'll be embarrassing. Yeah, 3's also pretty good. I feel like, especially with this young girl, like, I'm inclined to show off and be like, see, I'm very good, I am the law. Yeah, I am the law.
Well, that proves nothing. Anyone could do an easy deduction like that.
She's not impressed.
She actually is impressed. This is more like a defensive reflex.
I bet I can't deduce something, but I'm sure gonna say that I can.
She nods, half provocative, half enthusiastic.
We're bottom to top here. It's an intense dedication to the way of business. There are no riches without personal sacrifice. Chewed on nails means you're recycling your body material. Rats have been nibbling on your fingers. Child labor in dismal working conditions. Or you're uptight because of your mother and the pressure she's putting on you. Which, like, I mean, yeah. Not only is that relatively obvious by talking to the two of them in sequence, but also there's some cartoonish alternatives.
Maybe so, sir. Okay, I know it's a bad habit, and I shouldn't.
Yeah, I'm just gonna double down on this. Either way, another ace deduction by the #1 detective in
It
town.
was okay, sir.
There's more that can be achieved here. Ask her to do the same.
You think so? Fine, to do something about me.
You're quite sober.
The lieutenant does not flinch at the comment. He does not flinch even a single bit. He is intensely not flinching.
Oh, he's so not flinching right now. You guys have no idea how much not flinching he's doing. It's unbelievable. No one's ever not flinched this much. Number 3. I am also sad and my head hurts. That might be true, but that may or may not be related. Honestly, I kind of want to say... I kind of want to say 1 just to see what insight I will get out of it. 2 is very good. I mean, they're all very good. These are all very good options. 1 being, like, the least interesting of them. I don't know. I do feel like I'm kind of showing off here. I'm having a great time.
I sure hope you are, sir.
There she stands, swaying on her feet, assaulted by the early spring breeze. She smiles at you. The whole situation suddenly feels familiar, somehow.
Holy crap. Look at this. A medium difficulty suggestion. And we have a +1 because we knows the law. And we knows the law because we am the law. Wait, I didn't conjugate most of those words. Whatever, the point is, it's a 97% chance at success. Do you think that I will still fail this?
Because you know each other. She's been talking to you so openly because you've talked before.
Oh, interesting. I can choose not to remember. Hang on. You know me?
Yes, I stand in this spot all the time. You've been running around all week without your shirt on, sir, apologizing to everyone. I don't really understand what you've done wrong.
Did I ever talk to you?
Of course, you've stopped by a few times. You certainly look better than the last time I saw you.
I am trying.
Yeah, I can see. You don't have party eyes anymore.
Ah, I love that. It's a good turn of phrase.
Party eyes. Yes, of course. That makes sense.
I'm not surprised children have seen you running around with party eyes on, he thinks. Not at all.
Party eyes?
You know, like a cat in the dark, all big and wide-eyed.
Oh my god.
It certainly looks odd on a man.
Oh god.
The swiveling eyes of a loony drug addict. That is what she meant. You were probably gurning too.
Can, logic or something tell me what gurning means?
Fuck yeah. You should get some party eyes right now. Snap
Banned
those sequins on you, boy.
Let's forget about this.
Don't leave us hanging like that, man. Open yourself to the experiences of the world. Expand your consciousness with amphetamines.
Nah, I'm good. Thank you, though.
I'm glad I could help you, sir.
Well, that was mildly informative. Did we level up or something? I think we did. We have time for, like, a little something. What's a little something we could do? You want to ask her about school? I feel like we did, but I guess we didn't. We could do that.
Hi, Ace Detective.
Should you be at school?
I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running.
3 sounds very literal. What is school, anyway? Isn't school more important than standing here? Because what is romance? Should we just exhaust the dialogue tree here? Sure, we might as well do that. But Neko says, what is romance? Seems like a reasonable thing to ask a man having a midlife crisis to a small child. School important,
Mum
yes?
says it's necessary to do both because it builds character. Mum says a proper worker is dutiful. That's how you get ahead in life. You succeed.
There is stress and unease behind these words. She's reciting etiquette.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. No more.
It's the type of book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good man and the bad man.
See, these are the great moments. Like this writing is hard to replicate. The simplicity of this cutting right to the core of that in an amusing way is just perfect. Like, no notes. It's the type of book where a rich lady has to choose between a good man and a bad man. Yep.
Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man.
Ah,
it's about
true.
man and lady business, sir.
Man and lady business. Are there any Sunday friends in those books? What about a poor man getting a rich lady?
It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process. Or should actually be rich himself, but has lost his family property unjustly, like during the revolution or something.
I see.
Those are unhappy books, for most of the pages. People sad about what they have lost, but then it all turns out just fine in the end.
What about when both of the men are bad?
These are not very common. You can't have a choice between bad and bad. Nobody wants to read a story like that.
Oh no, the game is becoming self-aware. What if it's really well written, though?
Well, maybe then it's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick either, because she doesn't need a bad man. Yes, that would be interesting.
What about when everyone... So, like, full disclosure, my brother did not like me when I was a kid. I would like to watch him play video games, and I would ask him questions about how the mechanics worked, because I like understanding them. This may be surprising and even alarming to some of you in chat. But, like, I get the impression that this is how I came across to him, even though I genuinely believe that's not true. But, like, I enjoy this, where it's like, she set very specific circumstances of, like, this is what the story means. A lady has to choose between a good man and a bad man, and she has a lot of money. And they're like, alright, okay, I hear what you're putting down. But what about when everyone is poor?
That's really not a proper romance story. That's more like everyday life.
Sometimes you write about real life things.
Not in romance books, sir. These are about nice and pretty people, and everyone is happy in the end.
What about a book where the man and lady business doesn't work out at all?
I haven't read many of those. Maybe you should ask Mum.
Do you think she has one about an excruciatingly painful breakup?
I don't think it's a romance story if the main characters break up, though.
I want to cite a movie, but it's technically a spoiler. Also, I don't think that movie's very good. No, like, really think about it. One where they plunge into a torrid spiral of pain and recrimination, only it's, like, really long and drawn out, scarred for life, phantom limb. Which, I'm inclined to say this only because I feel like there's some chance this will get me closer to the type of song that I must sing at karaoke, the sad lament of unending torment or whatever.
No, I don't know.
You can take this. Blossom like a pain flower.
Yeah, and it goes on for, like, years and years with, like, no resolution in sight.
The girl is at a loss for words.
Each of you filling with resentment and bitterness for having ruined each other's lives.
She shifts and sways on her feet, looking confused and uncomfortable.
Each of you tearing at the other's innards, leaving gaping emptiness, a vacuum heart that still hurts ceaselessly.
I'm sorry, sir. I don't know how to help you.
I don't need help. I need a real book that tells me how it is.
Sir, sorry, sir. I'm still little. I can't...
Don't worry, little girl. I got a little bit carried away. It's fine. I got 5 experience points for that sanity damage. Alright, that's enough romance questions. What about other questions?
Maybe some about other books?
Like famous people?
Oh, kings and queens and generals of old, or artists and writers, or musicians. Those kinds of people. There's usually something extraordinary about them. I think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame.
Can I become famous? Then Tech will recognize me in a movie.
I don't know about that, but I imagine life is great when you're famous.
Almost gave yourself a heart attack. Yeah, but this game has, like, that store mechanics, right? So, like, I wouldn't die right away, right? This is a reasonable question. How do I feel about fame? I feel like I think that I'm a good enough detective that people would write. Yeah, like, I think I'm a famous detective. Yeah. I think people will write stories about me, and there will be, like, a detective series that's like Dick Mullen, but, like, it doesn't suck.
Why would they do that, sir?
Because I'm a superstar cop. In the papers and everything. That'll show them. And then I'll start my own casino.
That's so cool. Maybe they'll make you a book cover picture and everything. Standing over a dead body, holding a gun.
Wouldn't that make me the culprit? Never mind. Okay, I love you, bye-bye. Oh, hang on, I'm having a thought.
As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint.
Where's it coming from?
From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. It's just what superstar law officers do. They squint at lights, and they solve shit.
Actually, now that I hear superstar and law official in a sentence, they sound weird together? I assumed that was going to be they sound great together. Nah, I've been establishing my superstardom. I'm, like, super cool and awesome.
Yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop, Dick Mullen. Salam Rocky Bai, badass on-the-edge disco cop. Time to recede into a ludicrous fantasy world. Here we go. Camera. Lights.
Action.
With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you, and you along with it. In an iconic monochrome solution, a black silhouette against a rasterized orange world. It's on.
Some kind of superstar. Oh my god, -2 logic. That does not sound wrong. That does not sound wrong. First, let's make this absolutely clear. No one is saying you're an actual superstar in the groupies and cocaine riddled with hepatitis C strikes a lioness pose with a mic kind of way. You're not Guillaume Lemillion or Davy Dewis. No. You're a metaphorical superstar. You bring that rock and roll authenticity and passion to a line of work where people don't expect or want to see it. Where some would say it doesn't belong. Law enforcement. Now, I can't do this until I finish the other one, but I do feel like I'm definitely doing this. I'll have to have a think about it. Might drop socialism because I want my authority back. Anything else we want to do, like, real quick? I feel like we're about at the end of the stream. Although I will mention now, so next week, I will not be streaming on Saturday because I would like to make some time for Mother's Day weekend here in the U.S., which I know to avoid panic in Neko, who does not live in the U.S. So I would like to spend some family time there. So I'm going to take Saturday off. Do people what would we like to do on Friday? Do we just want to continue Disco Elysium? Do we have other thoughts? Talk to the woman reading. I did before. Has anything changed? Magic Arena. I'll take that suggestion into consideration. I'm not sure that is a necessarily popular opinion, but I will definitely consider it. I will say that the last time I tried to just get it to run on this computer, it, like, crashed 3 times. That wasn't that long ago. feel like I asked her what she was doing, but maybe I was just busy trying to get the fridge.
Looking for something to read.
I can't not. I'm a policeman.
I know you are.
Okay.
Everyone can see that. The rectangles.
Pardon me. I happen to be the law. Do you need assistance from the law?
What with?
Help her by carrying things? Maybe she needs a weightlifter. Maybe she needs you to fight her husband. No, that's not it.
Maybe she needs you to fight her husband. Okay. I'm inclined to ask if maybe her husband is missing, and here's why, okay? I promise I'm not just doing it because it's dumb and funny. I mean, it's mainly because of that, let's be real. But, like, so, what I enjoy about this is, I just had that conversation with Annette. And during it, I was like, alright, I'm gonna deduce something about you. And then I do. And then we have, like, a kind of a serious conversation. And then I ask her about romance books and have, like, a thought spiral. And then we talk about famous people. And I'm like, I'm gonna be famous someday. And I like to imagine that, like, it was literally in that moment that I decided that I was going to be famous. And so the very next thing that I did was try to find a case that would increase my fame level. Apropos of nothing. So, like, is it possible your husband is missing?
My husband? No, he's not.
Where could he be?
I don't know. At home now? Out drinking with his friends? Working?
Where is this going, officer?
What I'm hearing is you don't know where your husband is.
Yes, but I
mean, it's true. I did literally have the
thought. My husband is. Not all the time.
Wouldn't you like to know?
No.
I don't know what to do. I mean, I can totally help you find him.
Why are we still talking about this? I haven't lost my husband.
She has, though. The husband is totally lost. You should tell her that it's okay.
You know what? I'm inclined to trust empathy. It's okay.
What?
No, I was talking to myself. I should stop. It's okay. No, it's alright not to know where your husband is. That's totally fine, I promise.
Who said anything about shame? Stop talking down to me. My husband is not missing.
But he is. You can feel it.
What's happening?
Or maybe it's something else then.
Are your children it's just past 9 o'clock Pacific. Do you know where your children are?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, so where are they?
Are you a policeman or a nanny?
I am the law. Where are they?
They're not missing, sir.
You know where they are. They're at home, smoking, giving the ladder of vices a chance.
What I really enjoy about this exchange is that for some, like, this is maybe the one time that, like, every function in my brain is in agreement about the dumbest possible thing. Usually, like, a bunch of them will suggest something, like, ridiculous, and then, like, at least one of them will be like, no, come, like, honest, shut up. Like, stop it. But, like, here, like, everyone is like, nah, something's wrong here.
What if something horrible has happened? What if they're dead? That's the bad vibe you got before.
What if something awful happened, and, like, they're in the sewers?
That's just... My daughters are perfectly fine. They're with their friends down in Shamrock. There's nothing to worry about. They're almost grown up now, anyway. They're past the age they need me protecting them from everything now.
She don't protest too much. I'm afraid the danger is now greater than ever. How old are they?
My youngest girl, Jolie, is just shy of 16. Jenny, she is turning 18 next month. But we shouldn't even be talking about them.
Oh no, can you describe their appearance? What's happening?
Why do you need to know this? Haven't I repeatedly told you that they're not missing? That they're in Jamrock, safe and well, at some stupid party.
Party, you say?
Did someone say party?
Oh, get wrecked.
You could use a party. Hunt it down.
I'm trying to be professional because I am the law.
There is no investigation here. I can tell you that.
Maybe your cockatoo is missing, though.
I don't mean to disrespect, sir, but you are being a bit of a cockatoo here.
Perhaps even a cockathree.
For what it's worth, I agree. But cockatoos can't be stopped when they get ladies. It's better to indulge him at this point.
Ma'am, I was asking about your cockatoo. Is it missing?
I don't even have a cockatoo. And guess what?
What?
Even if I had, it wouldn't be missing.
Alright, cockatoo not missing. Just wanted to be sure. Just one more question. What did you mean by me being a cockatoo?
Nothing. Go read up on them if you're so interested. There's a great book in the bookstore.
Maybe you should. What if the cockatoo is your astral captain? Or your heraldic bird?
You know what? Maybe I will.
Wonderful. The store is open.
Okay, I love you. Bye-bye.
The woman before you nods and returns to her reading.
It's a good quest. Oh, no, you know what? I'll leave it. If I forget and then die, it'll be funnier. Hello, it's me, Big Vasco, and I agree with you, Neko. Her husband's, like, totally missing. Like, why would... Like, real talk. Why would she keep bringing it up if her husband wasn't missing? You know? Like, wouldn't she just say nothing and read her book, like, silently outside? Like, it's just so weird. But the daughters are probably dead, too. I mean, I hope not, but, like, realistically, it seems pretty likely, doesn't it, Castleard? Let's close the gate. Menu. If they ever existed. Oh, dang. I hadn't even considered that. The whole thing is like tax fraud or something. It's all a big con. I don't know how we dropped 514 frames, but it's certainly a lot better than last week's outcome. Concerned that the game is not closing, though. So yeah, like I said, not streaming next Saturday. It's possible we'll do Disco Elysium on Friday. I'll put it up on the Discord, and people can chime in there with their thoughts. And in case you're new, I think this command still works, hopefully. And you can find the Discord there. Anything else? Any other thing I'm not thinking of? I will say the schedule for the week after next is also not nailed down. May is a busy month for family stuff, usually. Things tend to line up so that there is a lot to do. The hope, though, is that after the local holidays, I don't know why that's the way that came to mind to describe that, we'll be back to a normal stream schedule for a little while again. But, yeah, some things are important. Yeah, if you think of anything else I need to address, let me know. But in the meantime, there's one thing that I need you to address, and that's the fact that somewhere on this couch behind me, I have hidden a Squirtle. If you can see a Squirtle, like this itty-bitty guy who was hiding yesterday, that one's not a secret, because you could see him. But somewhere else, I have hidden a Squirtle, and if you're able to locate it, then it will be an omen of good for you in the coming times. So, there's every reason to try and find it. Much like that woman's husband, who is extremely lost, if not dead. I mean, let's be real. missing presumed dead, right? Like, something is not right there. It is pretty spectacular that the outcome of that conversation, after all of that, is that I start a quest to find my spirit captain. Like, wow. Just wow. For some reason, I have this nagging feeling there's some other thing I was supposed to mention, and I don't know what it is. We did our unboxing yesterday. We did donuts a week ago. Loving the shirt. Oh, thank you, Crit Twitch. Obviously, it's backwards, because unfortunately, the apartment that I live in is just flipped 180 degrees from what you'd expect. It's really weird. But yeah, I like the shirt a lot. Thanks for the oddity that is this game. I mean, it is great and terrible, just like the Wizard of Oz. And I only say terrible because, like, I sure do get frustrated with it sometimes, but it is a great game. It's just, it's tough. It's a challenge. If you want that information, you can find it in the VODs, Neko. I don't want to spoil it for you, even though it was in the past. There's quantum entanglement or something. I don't know. Also, to be honest with you, I only ended up eating one of the 2 kinds of donuts. The one I tried on stream last week. They were, like, pretty good. Not, like, amazing, but, like, pretty good. So let's see. Let's gather these guesses. Hi, Narissa or Carlos. Tunic Fox. Togepi. Octopus. Don't remember which stream it was. It was 100% Disco Elysium. The Saturday one. Indeed. Alright, let's see if we can find that Squirtle. Let's start with... Oh, you know what? Let's start over here. With Narissa. She's a big lass. Hiding back there was... Squidbeard. The squid friend. It had occurred to me that as far as I can recall, he had never been hidden anywhere. He tends to lurk on top of the couch because he sits really nicely there. But this time, he got to do a little hiding of his own. Obviously, though, he's not a Squirtle. So, like, that's, you know, the hunt continues. Hi, Carlos. And that is where I hid one of my many groups. It is, after all, the release weekend for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Some homage must be paid. Saw a couple guesses over here by our Pokemon friends. This enormous Togepi. And our recently acquired Pikachu. Hiding back there is Wally. Squishmallow Wally with his little robot feet. But just in case you weren't here yesterday, it's really important to me that you understand how absolutely big this Togepi is. Because I got him in the mail yesterday, and he's supposed to be like a foot tall. Not true. It's very big. So I guess that perhaps it was hiding behind our Tunic Fox friend. But we had a little Lorenzo lobster hanging out on his tail. Not a Squirtle. And just a guess, perhaps this angry octopus that knows my feelings quite well is hiding a Squirtle, but just a Pokeball. A spare one that might be used to catch a Squirtle, but does not currently contain. So then, where might the Squirtle be hiding? Well, I'll tell you. This time, our secret Squirtle is hiding behind our sea monster friend and beneath Bigfoot Groot. So, didn't mean to trick you, but of course, these Squirtles are very secretive. Thanks to everybody for playing along. I hope you've enjoyed this game and the stream. We'll be back next Friday for an installment of stream before I sail off to celebrate Mother's Day with the family. Well, Animal is the Sea Monster is literally... it may be specifically called a Loch Ness Monster, but it is ostensibly sea monster, is the designation. Yeah, so that'll wrap up the stream. Thanks everybody for being here. Thanks for being you, and I hope to see you again soon. Whether that be next Friday or sometime beyond. Take care of yourselves, and remember that you are Claus.